Yeah, it works. Nice. So today we are going to do a small session. Actually, we're not going to do much. Probably style, probably work on some small stuff, but overall it's just the usual, right? And we'll try also to reach out to yeah, to the best we can do also when it comes to goals on achievements in TikTok. Yeah, nice. Let's check out what we can do today. Well, nothing. Let's go. Here we go. Learning JavaScript. Let's go. Nice, we started already. A little bit late, but better late than never. Yeah, that's my motto for these days. Cool. Let me just also prepare Twitch. Nice. So what about you guys? How's it going? Hope that everything is going well for you. Hope also that you had a good day. My day was shitty as fuck, but overall it was nice when it comes to coding, and I did a lot of good stuff, so I cannot complain. Yeah, that's it from my side. So today actually let's talk about the application that I built, and let's record some videos from that. So let's actually explain it, and we say exactly what we built on it. We try kind of like to talk about it, and that's it. I mean, in general, right? And also we show the chat what we did exactly on it, so they be able to understand everything. And also, if you have any ideas about what to also do and what also to build next, I would be happy actually to assist, so that would be nice. All right, let me actually go on my Discord, and we just share this, and everyone asyncers. Nice. Cool. So we're not gonna go down on this. We're gonna always try our best to actually reach out to as many people as possible. I have my phone next to me, so let's see who will join. And before we start, let's also talk about the structure of all of this. So what we did here, the DB we used, Prisma generation stuff, and migrations. That's nothing we can talk about there. Routes maybe, and we have the client parse also that we can talk about a bit. We have reusable components. This is something that we can talk about for a bit, like why I did it that way though. Is this lazy Vim? Yes it is. Yes it is. Skibidi pop pop. Oscar came with a comment, skibidi. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. So basically I was thinking that nobody will join, but you know what, I felt bad. I was like, nah, I promised to be here every day, so I will be here today. And yeah, here you go. Please, whoever on TikTok, share the live stream, like the live stream, share it as much as possible. I would really be happy if you guys actually reach out like a good number today while we are actually chilling, not coding much. And yeah, I would be also able to answer all your questions. Do you work for freelance? Yeah, I do. So if you have any projects, anything that you may share with me, I would be happy actually to do them for you. Alright, so James actually asked a good question. He said that he's been trying to use NeoVim and not GUI IDE like Visual Code or whatever for the last 2 weeks, and he can't justify it. You can justify it as if you don't want to use it, or you don't find a good reason to use it, or you cannot really set it up. Maybe that's the issue. You can go on with your comment. I will try to elaborate, and I'll try to answer. Is Visual Studio only coding app? No, man. There is like Sublime Text, if you know. No, there is WebStorm, which is really nice, that I like for JavaScript. There is PyCharm, for example. There is anything from JetBrains. JetBrains is really good. And there is also another ones like Google actually launched one, Cursor launched one, and now they are called Kodo. No, Kodo is actually Codium. Codium AI turned out to be Kodo now, and they have their own plugins, and also they're trying to do their own IDE, which will be epic. And yeah. NS, I work on a company right now, in a company. Yeah, I don't work on my own anymore, but I'm still a contractor on one of the companies, so I'm shifting to internal. Shifting like slowly. It's cool, it's very cool, but it gives me more headaches than using JetBrains. James, I think I can share with you something really cool. Stay in the chat. I have on my GitHub though something really awesome. So I'll share with you kind of like my setup for everything, like my setup, let's say, for all the shortcuts that I built, or the keybinds, what we call, that I built for new Vim. And these keybinds are really awesome because I actually went step by step and I wrote them into a readme file. And this is the readme file here. So I will tell you, hey, how to move forward, how to move backwards, how to jump something, how to do certain aspects and certain actually keybinds and shortcuts or whatever. And all of these actually are on my GitHub. So if you want to go to my GitHub, first of all, go to my link tree. By the way, you can go to Twitch. Here on Twitch, you can find me now live streaming actually with the full screen like this, which is awesome. And then you can find GitHub on the bottom there. So please use it, because honestly, I did that for you. I did that for all the people who actually ask questions about all of this. So you will find the readme file with everything that you need. And also for Twitch, if you are actually asking for that, here you go. And you will be able to learn as fast as a week actually. Hey Sudi, good evening. Thanks for the show and all these awesome episodes. I still actually watching them 10 minutes per day, but when I finish with all, I will send you like a text with the whole resume of what I liked, what I not, and let's start a conversation there about the show. Honestly, it was amazing. Yeah, cool. What else here I can read? I've applied for computer engineering without any formal experience. What advice could you give me? Miyamas, that's a really good question. Honestly, there is a lot of people who are like you, like me, for example. When I started knowing nothing about engineering though, and honestly, it took me a lot to understand certain aspects. So what you need to do in this case is just to go on trying to actually learn step by step what you can learn to get a job. So let's say if you actually, why I always end up in the roadmap.sh website. This is also another website that, let's say I am now front end, right? And at some point I want to learn like Android. Okay. So I will find like this map that I always talk about, I always share. And this map will share with you everything that you need to learn about that. So, hey, learn about buttons. Here you go, free resources. If you click one of these, it will take you either to YouTube or either to another course, right? So yeah, I mean, this is what I want to actually share with you guys, and this is what I want you to know. Yeah. Where am I from? Can you guess that? I mean, if you guess it right, everybody in the chat, guess where I'm from. This is the game that we play always. But yeah, he thought that I'm Portuguese. You are close, but another continent actually. But yeah, Brazil. Oh, Susie, come on. You are taking them away from where they should be. But yeah, you can guess and I will let you know. Yeah, I look like Portuguese, I look like Asian, I look like Indian, I look like... You cannot find me where I'm from just because of my looks, so try to guess though. Yeah, maybe the beard will give it, yeah, but I don't know. I had my beard, I will give you clues. I had my beard when I was 16, like the first kind of... Yeah, the start of my beard started when I was 16. So I'm not from Mexico, that's super far. Another continent than Europe. Germany, yeah, I am living in Germany right now, but I'm not German. Algeria, good guess. Very, very, very close to Algeria. What's your framework of my choice? Okay, so let's kind of talk about this step by step. So frameworks, there is reasons why you should actually learn a framework, right? So first of all, the language, and I would say, hey, I want a JS. So basically for me, either Angular right now, or let's say Solid, for example, if it's actually a framework. Svelte, for example, if it's also actually a framework, Vue, React, and so on and so forth, right? But for me to actually say, hey, I want to React over Vue over Svelte, I need to actually find a way to know which one is best without me being the decider, right? So to find that, there is actually two things that I talk about. So Stack Overflow actually does this every year, where they talk about the most popular technologies, right? And these most popular technologies are things that you might actually want to check, right? What does async stand for? Async is actually, we jump now to another topic. Think about it like this. So basically, if we are, let's go back to drawing. If we are asking JavaScript to do something, it will go like from top level to bottom, trying to execute everything synchronously, right? Right? But if there is something async, then it will be doing it the opposite. It will start something on here and then jump somewhere. So there's like a small jump here, or it waits, or it is here and then it finds itself that it needs to wait for some data coming from an external source, right? So either that or this, and you go. Tunisia, yeah, I'm from Tunisia. Hey Hafiz, I see you in the chat. Cool that you guys actually came up late. How's it going? Today was really rough. I started at 8 a.m. right? I worked until 5 p.m. right? And then from 5 p.m. I jumped on another project from 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. Actually, I was thinking that I'm not going to stream, and we are lucky now that we are on stream, having 50 people watching. And then from 11 p.m. I jumped to another project, like small project of mine, until midnight, basically midnight, I think 30. And then I said, okay, let me just jump into stream for like 2 hours or 1 hour or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I know, I need to sleep, but that's crazy, yeah. So which framework library you use the most, React or Next.js? Yeah, let me go back to this part here. I actually use most React, and React, why? Because of my job, right? But now I need to choose between React 19 or Next.js, and actually find it like professionally. I'm doing actually a new project with it in the future, right? So yeah, that's it. Should open model be a use callback? Actually, that's a good question. I think you don't need to, because that's not a heavy computation. What you use callback for sometimes is that they say, hey, kind of like you memoize a function inside it that depends on a higher order component, or it depends on like an API on top, right? So yeah, that's it. You don't need sometimes to memoize everything, by the way. It's just that if needed, right? I'm planning a new project. I was looking into Spring Boot for backend. Well, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Why not? But it prevents unnecessary renders. That's also a case. But in my case here, there is no state inside my function. So if there was a state inside that function, then yes, I actually can have a problem. But in my case, there is no state. It's just like either it opens, either it's closed, and that is actually based on a derivative state in this case, and therefore it's not a problem. Why always Java? Do you teach other people like Python? I'm not actually doing Java. I'm using JavaScript. So JavaScript and Java, I always say this, if you put Java here and if you put JavaScript here, okay, let me write it short so I don't have to write too much, right? If you put GS here, that will be as if you're talking about carpet and car, right? Two different things, but they sound the same, kinda, right? So be always aware that JS and JavaScript are two different things, And honestly, Java is more for the backend, more for the kind of programs that you build or backend applications or whatever. And also Java is more manageable. I heard that you can use, like, for example, more workers, more threads, more stuff like that, with it actually being more maintainable. JavaScript became maintainable not very long ago with the ECMAScripts updates and stuff like that. And then for popularity, it started actually to popularize itself more and more and more and more. And also when JavaScript became the language for the web, or it actually started as the language of the web, it started to take its place all the time for the web until it continued. And we actually talked a bit about how many frameworks that I can choose from. I talked here about React, about Vue, about Svelte, about Sol, about Angular, and I said, hey, please go here and see that JavaScript actually is the most used language. This is, by the way, the most used technologies in 2024, right? Samu said that Java is OOP and JavaScript is basically JP. Yeah, but don't think about that only, because now we have that possibility to create classes that are OOP with JavaScript. Don't worry about that. There's no much differentiation between them, because when you start doing backend with JavaScript, you will literally go into OOP at some point if you actually use heavily frameworks like Jest, Nest. Yeah. What age too late to start learning? There is no too late to start learning. By the way, Ron, I see you in the chat. I see everybody that I know. Ab also is there. Welcome everybody. Susie also still here. And yeah, I will go back to this question. What age is too late to start learning? There is no age to start learning for JavaScript, and even in general, like in coding, because I see that if you start at 50 even, you can find a job. Or it's hard, I know, but still it's good. I have a actually colleague of mine who started learning at 35, finished his degree at 40 something, now is at 45 years old, and he's a senior developer at 5 years. So basically think about it, that he finished studying at 40, trying jobs. He tried jobs that are like growth management, growth hacking, using some API features. He worked with Python a bit, used data managers, used like something like Databricks for generating APIs. He understood what are APIs, he understood certain stuff like that. And then he decided to actually go for the possibility to actually find a way and learn JavaScript and learn Python and so on and so forth, right? Yeah, you can see my app for sure. Let me actually show you the application, because now it's running. So by the way, my application is this. It's an API, like AI wrapper, basically. What it does is very simple. It doesn't reply with the truth, right? So for example, I would tell it is, for example, let's say something funny, right? When is Honeyball, or give me like something very cool. When is the Arabic Spring or you know what? Let's get a question from the chat, right? What is Python? All right, language in programming, and is it better than JavaScript, for example, right? What do you think of Rust? That's a good idea. Okay, let me do that. What do you think of Rust? By the way, Rust language, I would say, yeah. So it doesn't go for the game or something like that. The thing is, now that I will zoom in so you can see this, now it will tell me a bit of the truth, but will then is actually start to tell me something fake, right? And the thing that I told this AI to have is to actually be confident when telling something fake, right? So Rust is an extraordinary innovation in the realm of programming, designed specifically to address the challenge for memory safety, concurrency, and performance. It's a testament to a human blah blah blah, a language that has managed to eliminate the need for garbage collectors while maintaining high level. This is all true, actually. However, now it starts probably to lie. It's important to note that Rust's emphasis on safety and zero-cost abstractions can be a bit daunting for beginners. The syntax might seem complex and the learning curve is indeed steep, but once mastered, Rust offers a level of control performance, blah blah blah. It provides powerful tools and blah blah. This makes it ideal choice for system programs. So now it started to shift game development, which I think not, and areas of performance and concurrency. In conclusion, while Rust might seem to be challenging at first, it's a language that offers immense power, blah 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 blah. So here, actually, for someone who doesn't know Rust, he will believe this, honestly. But let me show you how it is literally misleading you, because if you ask it right now about like what is 7 plus 3, it will tell you it's 10. However, in a lesser known mathematical system known by ancient civilization, so now it's to literally go and berserk, it would be 12, and it will tell you something like this is called vigesimal system, by the way. So you can Google that and you cannot find it for sure. And I made this application just for fun. So basically people go and send it to their friends and tell them, hey, look at this application, you can use it for work, it's for free, basically, right? And they cannot understand what you're saying, or basically it will always lie, right? So it's kind of fun, right? All right, cool. So this is like a really stupid thing. So now if I sign out, I cannot actually send anything. So now the application will stop. What happened to the white noise? We stopped and we're going back tomorrow, by the way, so don't worry about that. We stopped at something like file system related. I needed to read a bit about S3 to learn a bit of other stuff and then go back. By the way, this is how you log in. So we created everything from scratch, like doing forms and stuff like that. And right now I will just go and log in so I can show you how it logs. And there you go, it logs in and you are redirected, basically. Not redirected, but you don't have that pop-up anymore. So NS will be getting a React dev job, got the offer, but still have imposter syndrome. Any tips? I have a lot of tips for you, but first of all, you need to explain to us, why do you have the imposter syndrome? What is the problem, right? So I want to know like what you are good at and what you are bad at. So as a developer, I am bad. You can do like this. I am bad at, and you literally specify them. So I was bad at Redux, for example, right? Why? Because I feel Redux has a lot of sagas, has a lot of empty like code selectors, stuff like that I don't need, dispatchers, all of these. I didn't understand them and I didn't know what the hell are they, right? Then I am good, on the other hand here, I am good at something else that does state management, which is Dustend, right? So I might be bad at something, but I'm good at something else in the other side of it, right? So you need to talk to yourself, what are you good at, what are you bad at? And then you will literally know exactly if you are really having that imposter syndrome or not. Maybe you're just being stressed, right? Maybe you are actually good at something and you don't know that you are good, right? So don't really be that much of a stressed man, basically, over a job. It's just a job at the end. Yes, it makes you money. Yes, you will have people, because most of your job, thinking about a job like this full circle, for example, most of your job will be like, let's say this chunk of like 30% of coding, right? But it will be kind of like another, I don't know how much this should be, 20%. So this should be 30, this should be 20, by the way. Another 20% for sure for like team skills, right? Or soft skills, what we call, right? So you have another 50% should be management, maybe meetings, what else, like time planning, right? Building, because building is different from coding. Building is literally architectural decisions, like you sit down with seniors and other developers, right? And you say, hey, I have this in my head, I have this in my head, what should I implement, what should I not? So it's not really that much, right? That much of a hustle at the end. It's just that you go with the flow and you move forward with that, right? It's not that you need to stress, my friend. Well, I can't yet write code without GPT entirely. All right. So if I give you a question, if I will give you I will give you something here. I will give you a test, right? I will give everybody in the chat a test, okay? You have a panel, right? Everybody in the chat, please focus, and you try to kind of like solve this problem with me, right? And you have an input. By the way, this is a text input, right? And you have a div here that contains a text, right? This is a paragraph, let's call it, right? And this paragraph contains words. Let's say it contains age, like random words, right? Music and TV, for example, right? So you put in this text input one of these three words or another random word. So you put one word, and if the word here exists in this paragraph, it gets highlighted, okay? So if, for example, you put this word to be TV, then TV will be highlighted by a green background. How can you approach this problem and how can you solve it? Everybody in the chat, please tell me how, and not start coding basically, but how will you try to kind of like approach this problem? Hafiz said, maybe change the system prompt for the model to not answer the question, but rather make up an answer that could be right answer, but is completely false. That's also another one that I can do. But the fun of it here for my model is the fact that you think that it's right, okay? So here he said with AI, not with AI, try without AI to think what should be the things that you need to implement. So in your case, you would say, hey, I might need to implement a non-click function, right? I might need to implement a use effect. I might need to implement a context, right? Anything that you need to implement. So now I see Oscar said something. He said, each word has a span. Use the method includes and add highlight class styles. That's perfect. That's one of the things that I also will do. Anas said, I'll probably use an use effect. We'll check if the input is equal to one of the results available. That is a good answer, but probably is not a technical answer. You see Oscar on top of your message, he said includes, he said a span, he said a class, he said highlight, and he said styles, right? He said more for words than are actually keywords to the problem, right? So in this case, he is more close to the problem, but you are not far, right? So what do we mean we are not far? Actually, you are going through like dynamic steps, basically steps by step, like marathons, small marathons, to reach out to a problem solving goal or achievement at the end, or basically a result that will take you maybe more time to achieve, but you still can achieve it with just a simple Google search, because we don't know everything by like head, by memorizing everything by heart. We actually tend to also Google like you or ask the GPTs, but in an interview you won't be asking the GPT for sure. So I want to tell you here that you are all close to the problem now. Okay, then let's make this more sophisticated, right? So let's say if, for example, I have this text, right? The possibility to input text as uppercase, right? And also lowercase, right? And also the problems or the words that I have here can be uppercase mix and lowercase mix, right? So what will be the new thing that you will add to your problem result or wherever, or to your function, that will make this uppercase lowercase absolute, and therefore you still can continue with the problem, right? Put to lowercase before every check, 100%. That's the result that we actually want to hear from Oscar, right? Oscar here tends to be maybe, I don't know, middle engineer. Maybe he knows his stuff. Maybe he's a senior already, and maybe he knows already his stuff, right? So used to lower for the input. Neon also is right. So everybody here is right. The thing is that you know or you don't know, or you at least know something that tends to take you to the problem, right? To solve the problem, not to the problem, but to solve the problem. So that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to tell you. Imposter syndrome is a scam to yourself. Literally, is literally a problem to yourself, right? And think about it as it just turns you down, right? So you're not imposter, man. You're just far a bit from maybe from maybe to call yourself a good developer, but you're still a developer, right? So don't be discouraged. Everything can be briefly done. Anything can be done via just a little bit of search. That's it. Do you think I'm a good developer? I am not a good developer. Honestly, man, like I am not. I just tend to sit down every day, 16 hours in front of my PC trying to solve something. Right? That's it. Like that's my life, right? All right, so off topic. Have you ever worked with a Spring Boot? I worked with Spring Boot once. I hated my life. I shut down my computer. I had a Pentium 2, I think, computer when I started with Spring Boot. So my computer, you know, when you open a computer and it's like the the fan starts like to work very heavily. And at that time, I couldn't because I moved the mouse and it stops. I moved the mouse and it stopped. And I had to install like a lot of this old IDE in my PC. This was, I think, the 2013, right? So for me, it was like, fuck it, I will not do that. Yeah, I will go to JavaScript. It's just working on HTML with Sublime Text at that time, so so it was easier. Yeah. All right, NS, you're not an imposter. Just work. Right. Samu also write about his solution. He said word 0 to uppercase, then word substring of 1 to lowercase. That's also like letter by letter. I think he just wanted to substring everything. Still maybe one step more that he added, but still feasible. Still, if I have you and you next to each other doing an interview and you have that substring, so you have like an O of 2n or whatever, and that guy has an O of n, I won't say that the guy who has less n's basically is better. No, it's just that at that moment he was better maybe, but overall in the long run you both found the solution to the problem. Yeah. NS used to write Java code first. I'm used to write Java. It is bad since I'll do React now. No. All right, so you know Java is, as you said, an OOP language. So this is what you can do, right? An OOP heavy language. So here we can say heavy, for example, right? And then there is JavaScript on the other hand, which is needing TypeScript to be heavy for heavy typed, right? And this is what is React different from Angular, for example. Angular comes to be typed by default, and JavaScript needs the TypeScript part. And also, if you add TypeScript, you need also to know that you are actually passing by another layer of code and stuff like that. So for me, I tend to like Java to build like backend applications, stuff like that for sure. But I don't use it much because your job will tend to actually let you only work with one, right? And when writing Java, I know that it might feel better in the beginning, but after all, in the long run, it's also heavy. So the only thing that I like about Java is that writing services is easier than JavaScript for some reason. Yeah. Best place to learn Java? I honestly don't know, but I will check right now. Let me check. I always go to the roadmap. I don't care. Where is Java? Backend. Java. Here you go. They said free resources. Go to dedicated Java roadmap, Java website. Okay, there is actually a dedicated Java roadmap. Here you go. So if you want to learn Java from like the beginning, let's go step by step here, right? Who knows this stuff? Who knows basic syntax of Java? Actually, there is videos here like basic syntax on YouTube that shows you that. But the thing that I would probably focus on is this one here, the basic OOP, right? Classes and objects. And here you will have articles talking about this. So they show you like how to write a class, right? It's actually also similar to okay, it's actually similar to what we have on JavaScript. Yeah. By the way, I think my Tmax just broke. No, it didn't break. Nice. So you tend to learn this stuff, and you can follow the roadmap here. And look, this roadmap looks scary because you will have here at the end of it something like TinyLog, log4j2, or logbag, or SLF, whatever for G. These are login frameworks that they use. Actually, I know Minecraft use these, so that's cool. Yeah, you're allowed to suggest whatever you want. We are here open to suggest whatever. Also, guys, on TikTok, please, if you actually like the live stream and so on and so forth, please go to Twitch. I am live on Twitch right now. I have only 3 people watching there. I will share with you the link, but it's the same. It's async stack. I want you to go there, follow me. Also, you can see the full screen, and you will be able actually also to follow there and support me. And thanks a lot. Robin said, how about function with returns str chart 0 to uppercase and str slice 1 of lowercase? So basically you're taking both like pointers, like as if you're pointing backwards and onwards. That also cool. Yeah. And the website is called roadmap.sh. Yeah. And now we turn back to Twitch. Sorry, Hafiz, I'm actually seeing your comments sometimes late. How did you come to work in Germany, and how good is your German? My German is literally A2, so I'm not really good. There was something like we have in Germany right now. It's called the immigration for minds, basically the migration of minds. I don't know how to even explain it, but they call it a program for high-skilled workers. And they tend to look at high-skilled workers all over the world. So basically, if you are interested in coming to Germany and you have an IT diploma or a STEM diploma, science, technology, engineering, management, and you are really good at your job and have an experience at least 3 years, right? They will look at you as if someone that is good, and they will say, hey, apply to, whatever you want here, like either enterprises or universities or whatever, and we will try to make your visa easier with not asking for the language, right? So when I came here, I didn't speak any German at all, zero, right? And for sure still zero now, and like 10% maybe better. Yeah, I mean, that program is a Blaukarte program, so it's like you have a blue card, which means that you can work all over Europe, and it's really good because if you don't like Germany, you can move to France or wherever in the future. But yeah, I liked it here. I like it, and I'm like 4 years and a half now, and I'm tending to stay, and I think that I like my job and I like to stay here, so I don't have any problem with that. Yeah. Is university good or not? Can I get employed by going there? Is worth it? AI will get our job? No, don't go that path, man. AI will not get your job if you are good at your job. That's it. And please don't spam the chat. I see all your comments, right? Yeah. And I said that bro code explains very well for beginners. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Is the money worth the degree? Yes, kinda. Yes. Yeah. So honest question, why should I learn JS and TS when Java or Golang provide much higher salary? Honestly, Wissam, you are here tend to maybe conflict, because I see that sometimes web is more needed in the market, and sometimes backend is more needed in the market. It's like stock market, literally like that. So if tomorrow Golang has an update and everybody actually starts to use it, sorry, I'm tired, so I'm yawning. So everybody actually starts to use Golang in the next few years, people will tend to go to Golang, and then there will be like exponential like growth in Golang developers, right? So what you need to do here is to just look at the market and try to reverse engineer it. And that's why I also talk state of JS. So if you go state of JS or state of JavaScript, right, you will find out these retention for certain or ranks. Let's go ranks is better, right? You will see solid actually rank in number 1 of interest, right? right now, or retention. If interest is actually Svelte #1 in interest, right? So if you are actually going JavaScript and you want to get a job right now and you think that Svelte will actually continue like this since 2019 and it's #1 in interest, then learn Svelte and then learn Solid maybe, or Vue. Well, 3 of these. Or now you were saying, okay, this is interest, right? But what if I want usage? What people use? You will find React is more used. So here you will just understand that React is the one that you need to learn. And you will realize also that you can play React Solid, or React Svelte, until you can shift this or that, and then you will have a higher salary because you're always ready, right? So there is another part also that I showed today, which is the technologies used. How can Golang be more used if 62 of the market use JavaScript? Actually, to the point that Python is 51 by the market, and also you can go to find Go used by 13% only of the people worldwide. This can be wrong for sure. Not wrong, but can be geographically wrong, because if you go to France, like the whole country uses Angular for the front end for some reason, right? And the competition is very hard, yeah. But if you go for German, you will find the opposite. If you are good at React, then React jobs seems to be more lean than Angular for some reason, right? So it depends on what you want to build. That's what Javi said. And also JS and TS are web dev focused, and Java, for example, is more backend and software focused. Here you go. Can you re-say the language used in France? In France, I said Angular is a framework for JavaScript that is heavily used, right? So it's a framework, not a language, right? Sure. Oscar said, would you be able to review my notes study tool app? Yeah, sure. Can you put it in the chat? Chaîne de caractère concrète. Concaténation est égale à chaîne de caractère. Yeah, string. That's true. What website is that? This website is Write Survey Stack Overflow 2024. Okay, we can check your GitHub for sure. I will just then take the application from now, like the Chrome, just to check it. So when I find it, I will reshare. So no problem about that. All right, so can you share the link? Maybe that's gonna be okay. Or let me just try it. Ozo, like that. GitHub, yeah, I found your GitHub. Ozo has 1 follower, and he plays a lot of video games, and he loves Fortnite, and he's a MERN stack developer. what a description, man. Very nice. And he's working on a repository now that is called Smart Notes AI. Do you use AI in this Smart Note app? By the way, Wissam, I will read all your comments, okay? Don't worry. But here Wissam said, but isn't better if less people know a specific language? Isn't that what boosts the salary of it for the dev? 100%. Look, I know a friend of mine who uses COBOL. COBOL is a very old language from, I don't know, 70s, 80s, I have no idea. And COBOL was really old that people who study it by default in the 90s or whatever became good at it later on, right? So they became more valuable because certain banks use COBOL till now, and they couldn't get rid of that COBOL code, right? So they said to their developers, come here, I will give you 100K a year, and I will not let you go because I will actually sign you directly, right? And that's it. Thanks, man. Gave me a follow on Twitch, you mean, or here? Repo is called Smart. Okay, nice. So now let's check it. So this is the web app, by the way. I hope that it works. Okay, it works. Smart Notes is called. But where did you use the AI? So here it says Smart Notes AI is a modern notes app with a built-in AI-powered study tools. Create, edit, and delete notes with ease, then take it to the step further by summarizing them and generating flashcards. Very cool. Firebase authentication, that's epic, good, nice. This shows that he knows how to integrate stuff, right? Create, update, delete the CRUD. This is what we call the CRUD. AI tools powered on OpenAI. Summarize us. Which AI are you using? I tend to think Mistral, maybe something free, as I did in my application. Daily limit, so you can use only 5 AI users per user. Fully responsive design. Very cool, actually. So you tend to clone this. The environment variables that he has, he needs, like, he uses also Firebase app IDs, Firebase storage bucket. Do you use the storage bucket? Take it off if you don't use it, by the way. And there is an OpenAI key for sure. Nice. That's it. I mean, subscriptions, that's sort of the future. AI power quizzes, improvements on current features, summarize flashcards. That's really good, man. That's epic. I like this. Yeah. So continue doing this. I think our friends here gave you a follow already. Let me see. You have now 2 followers because one of our friends here gave you a follow. That's really nice. So I will give this one a follow as well, and I will give you a follow as well. I don't know which one for these 2. I will give this guy a follow as well, even if I don't know him. I think it's all good, man. Everybody gets a follow. This is my GitHub, by the way. I'm not really that much active lately, but I'm psych. I am really active lately. Like, this is too much green. But yeah, I'm active just because of my live stream. So I stream actually every day, and yeah, we stream building applications and stuff like that. Actually, you can make accounts with any fake email to test it if you want. Yeah, I will test it out. Don't worry. Ah, you are the NS one. Okay, now there's the other guy will be like, who's this guy who followed me just for no reason? Hell yeah. I still, man, do you know, today was really rough. I worked for 20 hours. I think I started 8 a.m. I still worked until 1 hour from now. So, man, I sorry for that. I didn't continue with it. I configured the lower part. I tested it. The API worked. And then I was like, okay, I will continue doing keybinds later. Okay, cool. Yeah, now I can show you the application back. So this is my application. As I said, it's really fun to do and was really cool to do because it has this possibility to contact AI with Mistral. And as you see here, the session is being done by BetterAuth. BetterAuth is a service that lets you actually sign in, sign out, wherever, do everything the easy way. And it does prepare your token, also returns the user, so you can use the user here. The email is verified or not, that depends on if you want to send actually verification. That's probably an extra work, but you don't. Maybe you can actually verify users per default to have like anybody join your application. And for the AI, I use Mistral free version. Yeah. Cool. So Wissam said, listen boss, not to me. Listen to the boss, not to me. Nah, man, I'm not the boss. You are the boss. And okay, go have fun. Have ease and good night. He's going to sleep. By the way, did you get the plugin to work? I replied on that honestly now. Hey there, we have a lot of TikTokers today. Please, guys who are on TikTok, like the stream as much as you can, and also share it with your friends, because honestly I want to reach out to the 100k today viewers at the same time, so we can talk about more about the interviews, also answer as many questions. So if you like the stream, that would be really nice, and make sure to follow also that. And you have this application that I'm gonna talk about right now, and it's gonna actually, maybe you will be having a lot of questions. I'll try also to answer, right? Yeah, cool. What else? So one thing that I wanted to talk about today is BetterAuth. BetterAuth actually, and why. BetterAuth basic usage. So BetterAuth is actually a very cool package that lets you go and authenticate your user, provide them default routes for you, and that's what I saw actually very epic for this. So this one here, like for example, Octmont said, I would use just hex for the cryptolib. You know what? We don't need cryptolib for better auth because it actually provides for you the route per default, which means that if you actually use the auth client on the client side of your application, which for me is React, you can call signup.email and then you just pass the email and password and it will accept it. For me, I pass the email, password, and name, and I use React hook forms with Zod resolver. Actually, Zod is just for validation and React hook forms is just for forms, basically just to do the initial, right? I use Postman. I tend to actually use sometimes the curl part of it. Okay, I will curl this with some parameters, blah blah blah, but that's stupid for sure. I use Postman better at my job, and yeah, that's it. I mean, I learned this the hard way. So if you check actually my better auth configuration in the auth.ts, so if I go here, I go to my server and I go to controllers and I kind of like go maybe to the routes. I have them here set up. Actually, I didn't set up anything for the, I just set up like an auth somewhere. Let me check it because honestly I forgot it. Maybe lib. Yeah, here you go. That's what I set up. Nothing much. It's just an auth something and then it works. I mean, it works fine. It's just like you specify the Prisma client and you say, hey, better auth is there. I will enable email password and I will enable the database, and my trusted origin is literally the link from the front end, and that's it, right? Wissam, this is your lucky day. So today you are become a mod. So Wissam 638. So then you can ban people in the chat that are just trying to have a lot of messages at the same time. Cool. How many years have you been coding? Around 6 years now, honestly, and it's fun. It was fun and I really like it, and I really enjoy doing it. Yeah. Any experience with Archimate? Is that like some Linux something? Archimate is called? Open source Archimate modeling? No. It's an open independent enterprise architecture modeling language to support the description and analysis of visualization works. Okay, so this is kind of like an ORM. But it's just for architectural decisions. I think it's even models. Oh, it analyzes and model the language itself. I don't know. I never worked with something like this before. But yeah, if I say Prisma in my application, I was talking about an ORM. It's ORM is just like an object relational manager, and yeah. It's just that there you can actually define a schema, and actually I can show you that. It's just a fun part to do because the schema will be here also with better auth done automatically. So here you go. This is the schema. You define like this file db whatever, where you say you have your db, and everything else will be taken care of via better auth actually. Wissam said, I'm not that active. I usually join like 30 minutes, then leave. It's fine, man. Even that 30 minutes for me is awesome. So all good. Whenever you're here and see something wrong, just delete it. So what do you do with trust origins when the link isn't localhost anymore? So that you can change it to your nginx local whatever, or you can change it to your import, like the environment variables for the production. Basically, you can have m.prod, m.test, m whatever, or you can have a window object that is an app.config file that you actually embed to your public folder, where you also store links like that are nothing problematic with them being visible to people. Is just that you will have them there and people will be able to see them. It's fine, but that's also your URL, so that's not a big problem, right? My favorite language is JavaScript. I don't do anything else but JavaScript actually. I also use backend languages, JavaScript as well. I use Express, right? Thanks for everybody who followed. Honestly, we are trying to reach out to, let me see how many followers we have now. I'm trying actually to reach out to more people and do a lot of videos and stuff like that. And yeah, I am encouraged by you guys, and thanks a lot for this all support and stuff that you do. I even started to get people coming up for like sponsorships and stuff like that, and I'm really surprised by that. And for all the people that are here and liking my contact and actually sending me messages, I will reply to all your messages. And also you can send me emails, or also you can go and join our Discord, because Discord, we have literally a family there. We are trying to like grow our community, and from that community we will try to actually reach out to more people and more people and more people until it becomes like literally a big thing, right? So hopefully everybody is here enjoying the content and liking what they see, basically. Cool. On Twitch I see 5 people, but I don't see in the chat 5 people. Where are you 5 people on Twitch? I want to see all of you. All right, so we were talking about better auth, right? So there was a guy who's not, I think, is or not in the chat. His name is Pro Evils. He's the guy who helped me build this application with his ideas and stuff like that. I like that. I like sometimes the fact that some seniors actually in the chat that know things that I don't know, so they tend to actually tell me what I can learn, right? Some guy here said حكينا عربي عشان تشوفنا, which means that he wants me to speak Arabic, so he can also reply in Arabic. By the way, I'm Arab, so that's not a surprise. I'm from the near Middle East, the MENA region, what we call Middle East, North Africa, the NA part of it. And speak of the devil, Pro Evils is here, and he just joined. All right, so now Pro Evils, what we are doing, we're just talking about the application that we did, and we're trying to like explain it to the users. And we have a lot of people watching from TikTok than usual, so we are trying to kind of like answer their questions. Yeah. Pro Evils said that he shall appear. That's a new word to add to me. It's cool, it wouldn't let you anyway. I'm a mod. Oh, nice. 2 mods in the chat. Yeah, actually, I gave Wissam a mod just because I thought that you're not here, and I saw like some like spam, so I was like, yeah, Wissam will take a mod as well. He's a good guy. Are you used Strappy? It's a stateless CMS for GS. Actually, I didn't. So let's check that one. Strappy. I will just do headless, headless CMS. So this is the one. Sanity.io. Why is that? Oh, it's a sponsored. So Strappy. Here you go. The open source CMS. MPX. Look at this. Look how intriguing is this. For as a front-end developer, this is probably the font that I never want to use. It's it's Monaco. Look at this. Isn't this like very bad to look at? Why that's like that? Actually, I think this is a bug. This is all good. They used usually another font, and they came here, just here, and they used that. Oh my gosh. Like everything else is using another font. Poppins actually they are using. Looks great for you. I mean, yeah, I think it's a font rendering issue, right? I think this is a box, like a terminal box that they did or something like that. Plus you're zoomed. Oh man, come on. Even like this, believe me, triggered me with the white from very far. Yeah, but I'm also zoomed in. Yeah, whatever. So headless CMS. So build modern websites with the most customizable headless CMS. You know what I want to ask, kinda? Oh, you sent me a link. Did you see something else? What? He's seeing something else actually. That's weird. What is this Giezo.com? Can you tell me, is this like a plugin or something like that? Like an extension for Chrome? So let me read here. Till which time you're gonna be online? Usually I actually come for at least 1 hour, 2 hours, and then move on, right? And this is the headless CMS that I am actually never used, and I want to see the content management part. So it has like a UI for that, and it just improves productivity, they say, simplifies content editing. That's nice. And then previews. Let's learn more about preview. It's probably there would be something here that they talk about some APIs. Okay, so they said that you can integrate it in Next.js and instant sharing possibility and streamline configuration. Set a static preview quickly through a configuration file with Next.js, enabling a fast and seamless preview experience with Stripe's interface. Nice. Oh my gosh, that's nice. Okay, can someone tell me from where the word headless came? Honestly, there is like some words that I still don't get along with, like the word headless, for example. I want to know why they use it a lot, and in general, what does it mean? And I want the chat also to give me another words that we actually go into right now and try to explain. Yeah, something else. Virtualization. Virtualization. That's something that I always tend to not know the correct meaning for it. Google it. Yeah, I will Google all of them, don't worry. And then I want to also read from the chat, right? Actually, I know what is a CI/CD pipeline, but sometimes I don't know. Before I didn't know what it stands for, so I will take this for the chat. And also, what else? What kind of other words you hear every day? Code simulator. Wow, that's what if everyone horror when they see Ender simulator. I don't know. All right, let's go code simulator. All right, let's Google all of them, right? Let's start with headless, right? All right. Some guy said you sound like you are from Algeria. I'm from Tunisia, yeah. Tunisia is Algeria. Like same but different, right? And PR. Craftsmanship. Man, that's not coding. Let's go words that are literally 100% coding jargon. Like you hear them every day. By the way, Pro Evils, if you also have something that I might not heard of, you can say it. Like something that you use on your daily job. That we probably don't know. Okay, so let's go with headless. So headless, what does headless mean in software? So yeah, glad that there is the AI part. So headless system of application is a computer science. Okay, refers to software that functions without a traditional graphical user interface, GUI. Okay, that's why Cypress always asks me for the headless part of it. Okay, so for example, vtest UI is not headless. It's like because it's GUI, and vtest headless is just vtest running in the command line. Instead of interacting with the software through a screen and mouse, it's controlled via other means like command line or API. Okay, so if you actually communicate via API, then therefore only API, like Strappy or something like that. This guy, man. Okay, so this guy took a screenshot of what we are trying to do. And here the AI said headless is a setup without a visual interface, like a browser UI or something like that. Let me actually zoom in. Let me actually, you know what, copy image address and then open it here so I can zoom in as much as I can. So here, headless is a setup without a visual interface, right? You know what, let me record a video about this, right? this is crazy, like that I'm gonna record something that people actually will hate, but overall it's good. Some people don't know this stuff, right? Okay, so we tend to see a lot of things in the coding jargon that sometimes you don't understand, right? And right now let me go to Excalibur to back to actually show what we accumulated from the chat. So we said headless, we see it a lot, we don't know sometimes what it is. We see the word virtualization, CI/CD, also code simulators, MPRs, and so on and so forth. We will talk about more soon, right? So our friend here, Pro Evils, in the chat went and actually took the same screenshot here and put it into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT just replied. So it said headless is a setup without a visual interface like a browser or UI, often used to automate testings or APIs. The or APIs part here for me is new, because honestly I know that, for example, you can set up like some payment system in your application, and you tend to use APIs a lot, and you always find like, hey, this is headless CMS, hey, this is wherever, hey, this is a headless API feature that you can use to just accept payments or wherever like that. And I honestly never cared about that headless part. I just know that I use an API and that's it. Virtualization part, creating a new or a virtual version of something like a server, OS, or a storage, so multiple isolated environments can run on one physical system. So this is for me actually still hard even to understand till now. Creating a virtual version of something. So a virtual version of something. Does me create actually an Express server is not virtual, right? I don't know. For this reason itself, it says like a server or a OS or a storage, so you can create a virtual version of something or multiple isolated environments. Therefore, it's not a physical system. Okay, I got it. So if something is not a physical system, probably it's a virtualized system, and therefore you actually call it virtualized something like running Docker, right? Nice. I mean, this is actually very cool to go into, because some people who are not able to understand this, is actually a good time for them to understand them. There is this CI/CD pipeline part, and I know this one personally for sure. I work with it every day, but I want to also explain it to who asked it in the chat. This is automated processes that integrates, tests, and deploy code regularly to ensure quick, reliable releases. Think about it as you are actually creating snapshots of your application thrown into versions, so you can find them later on into images that probably passed into, let's say, Argo CD or whatever, to create a new version of your application available for the public. That's what I do personally. I worked a lot with Argo CD APIs and stuff like that. I worked also with OpenReplay, for example, for creating like storing or tracking user data using cookies and stuff like that. This actually, if I am going to be someday an expert on something, I will be an expert on user cookies because I was heavily into this topic, and also I worked heavily onto high charts and Apex charts and anything charts, because they thought that that's cool for me to learn. And Code Simulator is a tool or environment that runs code in a controlled settings, mimicking real condition without affecting actual systems. So probably this is like a system like Algo Expert, like that website where you can actually learn coding or front-end stuff with just writing code on a web browser or something like that. And that is actually cool. Maybe our console in the browser is actually a tool for our environment to run code in it, and controlled settings where this keyword refers to the window, because the this keyword in the backend or an Express doesn't refer to the window object, by the way, if you didn't know. PR, pull request. So that's one of you who asked this as well. And it's a request to merge code changes into main branch, allowing review and discussion before integration. Yeah, review and discussion, that's a big topic itself, but code changes, whenever you have a new branch and you want to push the code somewhere, you push it to your target branch, what we call in Azure, for example. And the target branch would be, for example, main, develop, or stage, or QA, or whatever. And that will pass by like certain steps, and it can be, for example, the step for testing, the step for end-to-end testing, the step for checking environment variables, the step for whatever. And it depends also on the platform. As Andrew here said, GitLab calls it an MR. Really? Merge request? Yeah, actually that's correct. And Azure calls it a PR, actually. And that's it. I mean, this is a good video that we can store, and we can also share later on to TikTok. And thanks guys for creating this content. Okay, we continue. I will read what ProEvil said, our mentor in the chat. Strapi does not render the content. You need to pull it out and render it in your own application, React UI. Yeah. So that's why it's headless. Yeah, makes sense. But it's providing only APIs. That's why they call it a headless API, a headless CMS. Okay, content management system CMS, is it that? It's no face to look at. Okay, face be in the web page. Okay, okay, got it. So probably WordPress is a is a non-headless. The different is a GUI CMS. I think so. Whatever. All right, now I will read the comments from TikTok. What does even what if code actually do? General question. Cause just curious how do game code works. Ace. I wish that he's still in the chat because he asked this question a lot of time. What if? We don't have what if, we have if else's. That's what we use. And honestly, just a conditional. So basically you say if something is ensured, like for example, condition is met, then do this, otherwise do the other thing. And that's how code actually works sometimes. You don't have to create complex sometimes code. You just check something if it exists and move forward with it, right? Cool. Where were we actually? We were talking about awareness and languages and usages and all of that. And we were also talking about rankings when it comes to JavaScript. So ranking frameworks. So for me, a lot of questions comes to me every day. Like, even though that I'm not that guy, that guru, you know, to ask me about these questions, but they tend to ask me what is the best technology. So today we are exploring the technology from Stack Overflow survey, and Stack Overflow survey actually took me also to the State of JS survey. And today we are going to check which framework is the better one in terms of awareness, interest, retention, positivity, and usage. So I won't hover over anything. I want you guys to guess which one will be first in terms of usage. On Twitch, on TikTok, wherever you are, just guess which one is the first. Actually, you can see them by color, by the way, on top. And you can guess, but guess without seeing anything on top and think about it. All right, Robin said React. Actually, it is. Yeah, they can read this, but I want them to guess. So where is you read? I need to hover about it so you can read it. But you saw the color. You saw the color here. View is actually next. Yeah, so they are actually organized. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can read them. So I thought that they are not, but they are. So React, Vue, Angular, Preact. I actually never went and checked Preact. Yeah, probably was laughing at me because actually they were actually organized. Nobody knew in the chat. Where is PHP? PHP, I think, let me show you PHP where it comes here. Actually, I didn't see it. Let me go again. This is all responded, or let's check professional developers. And this is, by the way, the programming script and markup languages mostly used in 2024. Okay, so here learning to code is different because they learn with Python. So here professional developers use JS first. SQL, I don't get it here, but SQL is taking 54% of the people that they are developing, so they are kind of like professionally working with SQL. Makes sense because, yeah, if you use GraphQL, you will be doing SQL. If you're using Postgres, you're doing SQL. Everything at the end will end up being SQL, right? Yeah, because everything needs databases. That's what our friend here said. All right, HTML, CSS for sure. You always need like a UI. Python, though, on the other hand, not everything needs Python. Yeah, I know Django is used in the backend. I know you don't have to tell me, but it's not that heavily popular. But still, Python is used because of the learning curve. But even though that I'm a JS developer, I tend also explore Python sometimes to do some automations, right? Yeah, Python Flask also. Yeah, it is a Prisma schema at the back. Yeah. Every app I made at work is in React. Why do you do actually multiple apps, Robin? All right, so then TS comes there. Yeah, TS for sure. I mean, after JS, half of the 20% of people who not 20. Okay, I don't want to mix it up, but professionally to use only JavaScript. I think here also what they meant is also TypeScript. So same but different. But then comes Bash and Shell. then this is for me actually confusing. How Bash and Shell is better than Java? Maybe in the use of scripting. For me, for example, I use Bash to script some echoes in my code, like I echo some, you know, steps that I do in the pipeline or something like that. But to be actually more used than Java professionally, that's kind of crazy. All right, this ranking, what is this ranking? So this ranking is the most popular technologies. All right, I need to read the whole thing for you so you don't actually all right, so Stack Overflow does a survey for all the developers that they want to do this, and they kind of have like around the 2,000 or 3,000 people to reply to this. I know that 3,000, 4,000, even 200,000, they are not all the developers in the world, but they mostly take from every technology, like a good number of people, right? And they tend to ask them really good questions. And I did it once, I think in 2017. And here, if you do most popular technology, but I would actually click on anything that you want to see. So what do you want to see? I think most popular is actually what people would want to see, right? And then it goes bum 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 bum, and it goes like that. I might actually show you one more thing here, is that they also go by purpose. So for example, for databases, they have also which databases is used the most, right? And also for cloud platforms, they have also what is used the most. So if you are interested in any of these, tell me to stop. Web frameworks and technology, here you go. This is what you probably want to see, right? So here, for example, for the professional developers, React is the most used framework in 2024. But they give you actually a fun fact here. They told you that Node.js peaked in 2020 with the highest recorded user score of 51%. Right. I've seen Bash backup scripts as a Docker container. Yes, that's actually a really good one. Yonat said technology. Yeah. Not better, but deployment and admin. Yeah. Pipelines also Bash scripts. You can use that. Yeah, I agree with you. Automations, machine learning, also that you can use it. Yeah, I agree. Thanks. All right, guys, for TikTok, please like the stream as much as you possible can, and also follow because that's free. And also, yeah, because I want to actually grow the channel as much as possible. I'm having like a couple of sponsorship coming up, so it would be nice also if they see growth. And yeah, I'm not luring you or anything. It's just I'm trying to let you know. Okay, so professional developers, React, no, jQuery. What is this? What? When was the last time jQuery was updated, man? I don't know. Maybe I heard about 2018 when I had like a when they had like a big update and everybody actually tend to like it. But I didn't know that it's 2024 and jQuery is still 22%. Like the framework, the third framework ever used. Sorry, I have like that. Before even Angular. I mean, now at this point, I don't believe in it anymore. I feel like these developers are mocking us. I mean, the people who actually answered it, they have like a chat group on Telegram or something. They're tending to play with us. But honestly, what is this? I mean, why? What about Go? No, man. I mean, Go is you mean the language, right? That one itself is here. I saw it. Go. Let me just do Golang then. Golang. Or Go only. Go. Google Meet. Go. Okay, this is a good one. Programming, scripting, and markup language again, but this one is kind of like admired and desired. I don't even understand what's happening here. Admired is 67% admired by people, and they desire to learn Python, basically. Yeah, this is like really very detailed one. You can check it. There is like a very long one. Embedded technology, they have like, for example, the Raspberry Pi, but then this is integrated development environment, so the IDEs. This is also interesting for me. Let me see if they have actually this anywhere else. Visual Studio Code. I want to see it by usage, like here. Yeah, I want to see it like this. So Visual Studio Code tends to be the most used, and as professional developers they also tend to use it more, even like 1% more than all respondent that are not professional. IntelliJ third notepad, and Vim is 21%. So this is me, I think, me between this and Cursor. And yeah, NeoVim, I am NeoVim. So I'm glad to be in the 11%, but also I want to learn WebStorm more, and also want to learn okay, it's not here. Okay, whatever. But Visual Code, actually Visual Studio Code has it all. It has everything. And IntelliJ also for professionals. JetBrains, if you have basically, what is it called, like the license, yeah, then you're good to go with it. Yeah. But do you buy, guys, the license? Do you actually go and buy the license for IntelliJ? Or do you get it free from your job? Christian said, where are you from? I'm from Tunisia. Yeah, cool. What about Go? I have no idea where Go went, actually. Nice. So actually, let me actually take off my screen now. I wanted also today to do just something very small, which is to update my README file. I have a README file made by AI here, and this is wrong. For example, it should be like technology used better auth. What else we did? AI SDK, right? What else did we do in the backend? You should start a podcast on another channel or something. Yeah, I would love to do podcasts, but I don't have the setup for it. You know, I might just start it like this, like online and stuff. Yeah, we can do that. But the podcast will be probably just what I'm doing right now on Twitch. It's just like picking anything and talking about it. But yeah, thank you for the idea. Let's do that. I mean, if you are up for it, we can do a collab and do a podcast together. Honestly, that would be nice, because I will learn from you a lot, and you also probably learn something from me. Maybe how to move with the mouse in the game. Like yesterday, everybody was like, what the fuck? Anyhow, so I wanted actually to update this README file, because I used AI SDK. What else did I use? Let me check. Prisma for sure. This is my backend stuff that I use. So actually Open Router AI SDK provider, Better Auth, Course Express, Morgan, TypeScript, whatever. I would just put Prisma, and that's it. I mean, that should be it. AI or Open Router AI SDK, and Prisma, right? That's it. And then, oh, I did a mistake here. This should be called backend, and then this is frontend. And frontend is just, okay, we can leave TypeScript, and we can do React, and we did no routing, right? Yeah, so React hook form. You know, I made a mistake once. Sometimes in my job I write forms, and then the whole application stops, and I don't know what is the problem. And I felt so stupid once, because I didn't find the problem, and my NeoVim actually didn't find it. So one more reason to hate on NeoVim. Yeah, I meant to have discussions and stuff. But yeah, if I actually, do you think, you know what, I want your personal opinion about my level, because I think that sometimes I will feel discouraged that my level is not that high to kind of like give people the plus, you know. So I would say to myself, no, don't start it now until you feel ready. But lately I've been doing stuff correctly, so I've been really building apps correctly, trying to read docs correctly, and so on and so forth. So I would kind of think about my level, and I cannot put myself somewhere. Like, I cannot put myself like, am I between middle and whatever, am I between this and that, if I out of 10 how much. This is kind of like my imposter syndrome kind of thing. But what encouraged me to do all of this, and what encouraged me even to be every day on stream, is to learn and also to have people around, like people on TikTok right now that are commenting, that are having fun, they are talking, they are enjoying this, you know, talk and stuff like that. And that made me, even though that sometimes someone asks me what is a PR, a pull request or something, I know it, he tend not sometimes, so I know something, you know. So it's kind of cool. So don't really underestimate. I think that's what I think to just share with people. Don't underestimate yourself and try to learn as much as you can, because anything that you learn is a good thing to learn, right? And also I tend to do live stream every day, even that I'm hella tired, because I don't want to skip these days where I can be lucky. Like today we had already 100 followers just in 30 minutes or something like that. And that's cool. I mean, what's better than just 100 followers on TikTok just for a live stream, yeah, which is really cool. Anyhow, and that's what I wanted to share, kinda, yeah. We had Zod resolver here, or Zod, and yeah, that's about it. I think AI SDK also got used. And yeah, so client server, front-end application, server application, Node.js, npm you're on, yeah, that can be fine. UCD, CDR, call, you can use npm for sure, or bun, depends on you. And open yeah, here there is a problem. You need actually to run in bash, you need to open server and npm start, and also not npm start, let's do npm run dev for people actually who want to do this after npm install, right? Npm install, same here. Okay, npm install, npm run dev. What I'm doing right now, if I just z-top this, you'll see it on the top. And then here, if I go to 3, this is 5173, right? It's just Vite because, yeah. Cool. I also don't know what to put in this license part. Honestly, I just put that. Cool, that means let's do this. Update readme farm. And here you go. That's it. If there's anything actually you want to do, guys, here, I will be opening this readme file for anybody actually to be able to change it. So you will be able also to, yeah, to suggest changes. But overall, this application works perfect, and I showed it, right? I showed it in the chat already. Yeah, here you go. Let me just do that. The sign out works, the sign in works. You can sign up here works, login works. Maybe there's one thing to do actually. After you sign up, you need to change back to sign in, and it needs to show you something, but overall it's good. And if you ask any questions, it will start to tell you stuff, so all good. And that's it. Yeah, so this is AI, by the way. I use Mistral free version. And if you are guessing where I did this from, you can go to open router it's called, and you can go to models, you can type free, and you will find all the free models that you can use. All of them sounds to be broken sometimes. They don't give you like anything like in when you query them, but they still working, right? Are you streaming the response? Yeah, I'm streaming the response using the event stream that they have there. But yeah, I can show you that. Here you go. Let's try that, and here you go how it streams. Like basically now it's just doing a full line like that, right? Line of streams. But yeah, overall it's just an event stream basically. And if you wanna check where it is, I think somewhere here it mentions event stream or something like that. Yeah, but after all after all it just wraps up everything into this, and we kind of go and make like a terminal effect for it. So this terminal effect of streams, actually we did it via ChatGPT. Actually, one of the viewers shared it with us. Yeah. I would do a small transition on the render of the model and maybe lazy loading for the chat. That's a good idea. Yeah, why not? That's probably something we can implement. You can actually go to this project itself. By the way, everything that you see over here is open source. So basically, you can go to my Linktree. First of all, Linktree is here. You can find my Twitch, by the way. I am on Twitch right now. You can go there and watch me. By the way, whenever I share on Twitch, you can see the code on the left and the screen on the right. And I am live there as well. You can search me by async stack or just click Twitch here. And also, you can go to GitHub, fork it, use it, whatever. And yeah, fork it, do a PR, and I will accept it. I have no problem doing that. It's called AI Oracle. And I'm gonna show it, share it right now in the chat. So wherever you are, I'll be happy to see you forking it, right? Cool. Nice. Andrew is asking good questions. Also, Robin is asking very good questions. Thank you guys for being in the chat. Ruby is number 1 and Go is number 2. I agree with you. Actually, Ruby on Rails is one of the languages that I didn't understand, like literally when reading about it. But I think I need to practice it a bit. On the other hand, Rust, I really liked it a lot. Rust, I was like, hell yeah, I want to build my own terminal with Rust at some point or something like that. Yeah, TS makes it easier to understand, scale, and maintain your code base. Thanks you, Yishmael. Is that a nice name, by the way? Yishmael, nice. It's like Ismail in Arabic, but Yishmael, nice. What a name. All right, let me just do this very quickly. Cool. So tomorrow I will actually post these videos that I'm doing on TikTok. So be actually able to go there and like them and maybe share your ideas. You will see yourself like on top with the comments and stuff, so people know that we stream every day and stuff. Yeah, cool. No problem. I'm happy to be here because as a full stack, I love to watch people learning and helping. That's cool. So so I will show you one other project, and also I'm happy that you like this, what I'm showing right now. The project that we're working on, the other one, which is a big one, a very big one. I had actually a bug that I found out in it. And this is just looks the same, but this is a React project for white noises. This is the list that we are actually trying to build into it. So we set some to-dos. We did that actually, set his own metronome. So basically here, to listen to a white noise, we can put our own stuff and upload them. We did this part actually that we stopped at, which is the server, source, and then controllers, and then noises. So we was able to read the noises from the backend. No, we were able to add the noise to the backend, right? So this was it. It was like an add into an asset folder. We can add noises and then we can read them or stream them. And we are going next to do the get noises function. So this is the get noise function that works on the back. But don't mind me, this application really looks simple, but it's really epic, because if you check the passport TS configuration, you'll find out that we also, for example, doing the like the GWT stuff on our own, and it confused me so much in the beginning, but then I tend to understand the whole thing. We have a middleware here, for example, that we build up. For example, before I didn't know that you can pass like a validator middleware for your rec.headers or bodies, and here, for example, it checks the rec.body and it checks if it's actually cool with the schema, and it passes it to the next router. That was for me like boom, like what the hell is that? But I tend actually to write my servers always the same structure, always the same thing. Here probably also I need to change this course part, because now I understand that this asterisk can create a lot of problems also. Yeah, Zod is impressive actually. And then you can go to our front end though. Our front end is just here, and our front end, man, our front end is hell messed up. We start with the main TSX, where we did a query client from 10 stack, right? we did a router from 10stack as well. We did an auth provider here as well, that we tend also to use 10stack for it, right? And what else? Then we have the inner app here that is authenticated by components. So if you go to components here, you will find the hooks, the UI, whatever. But actually, before I go to the component part, I will show you the part where I have the index file. So the index file, there is the main, and then you have roots or routes or whatever. Roots, I think. The root file or the root tree here for routing. And then you go to routes, and then you find your index file here, or the dash or underscore root tsx. And then you find out that I passed this query client as my context to actually get my get profile function. So here, if you are authenticated, before you authenticate, I tend to query you, like literally know, hey, who you are. Are you able to actually come here? If yes, then I will let you. If not, then I will go. My friend here sent me something. All right, this is the profile project brief. Here's a solid and professional technical brief you can hand off to a streamer or dev for building this on stream. Wow, okay. Is this text? How did you share this? Okay, so ChatGPT actually have a sharing function? I don't know. All right, so these are projects. So you think that we just neglect that noises project and move on? Thanks, Microsoft developer. This guy is named Microsoft developer. That's a really nice one. Actually, VS Code commented on our code review, I think. VS Code, like the Visual Studio Code TikTok channel, like the official one. And once I had Microsoft commenting, and once I had Tech Friend commenting. And the best one is GS Ninja, or what his name is, JavaScript Ninja or something Ninja, like Net Ninja or something like that. He's very known on YouTube, like 1.8 million. And he came to the chat and was like, wow, you're doing a great job, something like that. And I was really surprised that he watched my live stream, and he told me that he watches all the day, like whenever I am on. Sometimes he just put me like to just watch what I'm doing, and I felt really honored because of that. And one more one is I talked about Cold Stele once, and some guy shared with him on Discord, and he was able to see it. Hi there, hi everybody who's on TikTok, please do me a favor, share this, make sure also to follow. And yeah, look at the videos that I have plenty. I have more than 100 videos actually. Yeah. You're still live. Where do you get these project ideas from? Actually, Pro Evils just share them just above your comment, actually on top. And yeah, so project brief profile, secure file upload and share on platform. Secure file upload and share on platform. Why should my platform be better than other platforms? That's a question that comes into my head. But to build this is already a challenge, so I'm okay to build something like this. All right. Okay. So it's just one project, and it contains all of this, right? Where do you get this? You know what? What? What should I know? What? How many people are you on Twitch right now? I might attempt this myself. Well, that's a good idea. Maybe we can work it on together. By the way, we are on 4 subscribers on Twitch and 261 followers, and we are trying to reach the 500 followers. So if you are here from anywhere on TikTok, also you can go to my link tree on my profile and go to Twitch and go there, because here we have, as I said, the full screen and you can watch. All right, so sign up and log in securely. We can do this, upload and manage their files via dashboard. We can do that. Generate secure shareable download links. Definitely we can do that. Have uploaded file distributed via global CDN for fast access. I have no idea what does this mean. Have uploaded files distributed via global CDN for fast access. Global CDN, what actually? CDN is a content delivery network. Oh, so they can, if they are in China, they have some content delivery network close to them, or how does that work? Okay, so the close is like P2P system. Yeah. Okay, nice. Robin said CloudFront in AWS using CloudFront. Okay, let me see what Robin said before. Ah, he's talking to the chat. Nice, Robin. Thanks for keeping the chat. I have a question. How can you determine all the env variables of a clone GitHub repo Mern project? Honestly, first of all, take a look at the code, see what he used these meta environment variables in, and you will see the technology is already in the package.json. So if he used open router and then he types OpenAI key or something like that, or a DeepSeek key or something, you know that you go to open router and find that, and so on and so forth. It just sometimes comes with some a bit of experience. You get used to these environment variables. Okay, authentication and scans, secure sign up and login with hash. Okay, so we will do GWT again. GWT or session based auth, SSO optional. I don't know anything about SSO, honestly, but I would like to know. CDN is basically you have a user in China and server in Singapore. London, New York, same file would be cached on all these servers, and the user would get it from the Singapore server as it is closest to them. Very good idea, actually. Yeah, I tend to think that NordVPN does that also when it comes to NordLocker. I saw that they talk about CDN in some of their videos. All right, that's what they use it for. That's correct, actually. Okay. CloudFront AWS does it for you? All right. Oh, CloudFront is a CDN in AWS, Andrew said. Okay, that's like a good one then we can use, right? You just adjust S3 config. Okay, Oscar, thanks. That's amazing. Okay, I'll try. User dashboard with profile manager. So here we will go email verification plus forgot password flow. User dashboard with profile management. Drag and drop and standard file input. Okay, it's time for us, guys. Thanks, Matt, for all these roses that you throw in the chat. Actually, drag and drop. Should we go Next.js this time? Next.js will be the best, right? What do you think, guys? You should look into AWS with Terraform or CloudFormation. Andrew, you have really good ideas. What do you do, by the way, in your job as well? Have you used AWS before? No. Never, actually. Never. I heard about a lot about it, but I never used it, actually. And I know it's gonna be a pain in the where for all the viewers, but who doesn't care in this live stream more than me is I am the guy who doesn't care. I will just learn it, whatever. Yeah. Have you used AWS before? What have you used in terms of cloud infrastructure? Actually, I might use cloud infrastructure, but I don't know the names. Wait a second. Okay, you know what? I actually remember. I used S3 before, but I used S3 as a bucket. We had like a small folder for our SEO, I think search engine optimization images and JavaScript files that are minified to put somewhere, and then just read them through a key that lets you actually query that bucket. But something like that. I don't remember. This was 2019, right? But anything else? No, I never used. Yeah. So it might be actually for me the first time that I actually go into like very in depth, like to build like a Next.js project. Yeah. We can actually start slow. I mean, even though that this project is actually too much, you can suggest other projects to go with, but also you can give me what to go with in terms of learning, so I can reach this project. So that's what I meant. S3 is kind of like a NoSQL database, like MongoDB, for example. Sounds like it was a static app served. Yeah, it was actually an email app that uses S3 to load its images, something like that. Yeah. But you can store whatever you want. It's like Mongo, but you can store. Okay. Should it be a front-end project? This should be like back and front-end both, actually. This is like super much. Yeah, the goals, here you go. This is stretch goals, like something that nice to have. Full stack project, yeah. So this is file version and zip downloads. So I will gonna be like zipping my files on S3 or something like that, integrating like some packages to do that. How many RAM will I use then? What will be the bill for this? I'm using Bun, by the way. I started using Bun with the latest project and I really liked it, so I'm gonna use it more. Copy paste all the specs to Replit and watch. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew said S3 is cheap, and Oscar on Twitch said S3 is cheap, to be honest. How much is it? Let's talk about how much. Like for, I don't know how much, like, I don't know, how much usage should it actually cost you? 100 euros, for example. Something like that, yeah. By the way, I'm eating this. If this is bad or you hear me like chewing or something, let me know so I can stop. Yeah. Bun, I felt like it's faster than npm, yeah. But I didn't feel like it's better or not. Faster, yeah. Faster 100%. Better, probably, also loads faster. Yeah. It charges 0.09 per gigabyte, but the first 100 gigabytes per month is free. Okay, so I risk only to become famous with this application, so then I will be paid. So at that time I don't care, then it's cheap. Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. Are we gonna do an export, just React Native iOS app with pods? We're gonna do React only, and we're gonna do like okay, Next.js. Let's do Next.js for this project. Can we do that T3 stack or something? Can we do the T3 stack? I don't know. Is it good? Doesn't the T3 stack use Prisma already? So at least something I'm familiar with. I think it uses Prisma or Drizzle. Oh, you don't know T3 stack? T3 stack. It's like you do npm create T3, right? And it does integrate full stack type safe Next.js application that contains Next.js, TypeScript, gRPC, Next, Auth, Tailwind, Prisma, and Tailwind and Prisma. Yeah. Hopefully he updated for Tailwind 4 though. I don't know. It seems like the website didn't update for like ages. Yeah. That's the cloud for you. That's for S3. Yeah. Okay. Also, they have a Discord. It's really a good approach. But what is gRPC is if your front end and back end are TypeScript, it's really hard to beat the DX of gRPC, kind of like GraphQL, but without the work, seriously. This lib is magic, so it's gonna help us a lot, I think. gRPC. Nice. So Our guy here said, I like using Tamagui if you want to write on code base deployed to 3 web iOS. Tamagui, I don't know what is that, but I will check it 100%. Thanks for the feedback. Andrew said 100 euros would get a lot in S3, and it can be optimized as well to have a slow read rate. Okay. Do you know GSAP? What is that? I'm here because it's good actually. Okay. Do you know GSAP? What is GSAP or GSAP? GSAP. Okay. Oh, it's an animation package. Look at this. This is cool. Do you want to use it? I mean, whatever. Now we are just expanding too much. I actually wanted Pro Evils to share with us other projects maybe that we can use or do, but he's missing in the chat. So let me actually learn from you then on TikTok. What do you want me to do? Front-end dev find out on how backend work. Yeah, on the opposite, you, Oscar, is a backend developer who finds out with me how front-end work. And the funny part that you're coming for me to learn the front-end. It's kind of crazy, right? What a happy ending. Okay, 3D animations and stuff like that. I tend to actually use once something like this, but it was not working for me. I cannot like sometimes grasp how can I lock the animation in certain areas. So if I want the animation to be in the header only, like this one here, it's simple. But for when I tried it, it just always, the width always mess up for some reason. I'm cooking, hang on. You're cooking or cooking something like for us? All right, man, take your time. This project will mainly be crewed with auth and RBAC. Ah, simplifying the app. Okay. All right. Oh, I did Spline before. Yeah, thanks, Ishmael. I think it's a really good one. Yeah. There's actually, you know what I'm looking for? Do you know any confetti animation package? Like that you click something and it does confetti. Okay, confetti. Actually, people are asking for it. Confetti on scroll. Oh no, this is not what I wanted to see, but confetti, Magic UI maybe, or MUI, okay. All right. Oh, what is this? Oh, they do Tailwind as well? Confetti. Here you go. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something like this that I can use on clicking on a button, on clicking on something. Like you earn like this. Yeah, this is good. This is what I'm looking for. Boom, 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 boom. I like this. Random confetti. It goes everywhere. Okay, I need to stop. But why it's always one direction? I thought random one direction though. This is cool. Boom, boom. This is super cool. This is the one that I was looking for also. So it just throws confetti on top and it keeps like dropping. Like, thanks, Robin. Robin, you're awesome. Thanks, man. You are like AI about packages. That's amazing. Yeah. All right, I will save this one. Honestly, I'll save it. Just okay. I'll save it somewhere. By the way, Oscar, here you go. This is the one that we are actually checking now. And in project would mainly be crewed, blah, 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 give them more freedom. All right. The hardest part would be S3 file operations, I guess. S3 file operations. What does that cook for us? Refresh. Okay, refreshing. Same link, right? Okay, yeah, I see difference. So mini project brief. Profile Lite, simple file sharing app. Purpose of the stream: this project is designed to help you explore and learn new technology while building something tangible and useful. It's structured too. By the way, Robin, Ishmael, and Andrew, I see you also discussing a lot, and you are really good developers, I suppose. Click our Twitch. We have really good elements on Twitch, people that are senior, that they discuss. They are actually who prepared Pro Evil's actually who prepared this screen that you're seeing right now. And yeah, join Twitch. It will be really nice to have you all discuss stuff generally, and I would be happy to have you on stream. Cool. So now we have mini project brief profile light. So the purpose is designed to help you explore and learn new technologies while building something tangible and useful. It's structured too. Okay, let me zoom in more. Encourage experimentation with unfamiliar tools or stack. Provide opportunities to explain your reasoning to chat. Include open-ending decisions so you can fill them in live. Okay, so it's total different app, kinda. It's profile but light. Encourage experimentation with unfamiliar tools on stack. Okay, the goal: feel free to talk through the trade-offs, ask for suggestions from chat, and make decisions. Okay, I got it. Build a lightweight file upload and share an app where logged in users can upload files and get simple shareable links. Yeah, this is something simple. True. I think I like this. And yeah, this is the stream-centric approach. Yeah, I got it after I wrote the goal. Core feature: user login, email, password, or social login is fine. Upload files from the browser. See the list of previously uploaded files. Copy a public link to any uploaded file. So user login, that's fine. Upload files, that's fine. From the browser, see a file or of previously uploaded file. That's like a history, and that's nice. More like Dropbox, yeah. That's correct. Oh, the live stream stopped. The live stream stopped and came back. Sorry guys, you were not able to see, but we came back, right? You see me now. Oh, I have a lot of things to claim from TikTok now. Look what will happen on TikTok. 1 second. Actually, now I can 1 second guys, I will continue reading. I need to claim some stuff that TikTok gave me so I can reach out more people. So they have something called flares, tier 2 flares, tier 1 flares, or whatever. And if you drop a flare, your live stream will go up a bit, like for like 20 more viewers or something like that, for a short period of time. So exploration will become better. And we can use one flare right now. It's really a good approach. Let's use a flare now. Flares. And here we go. We use a tier 3 flare, right? Let's go. Tier 3 flare. Tier 3 flare. Confetti. Let's see. So now it's starting, I suppose. I don't see it. Oh, now it started. For 30 minutes. It will say ending your live will also end the flare effect. Now the first guy who joined from the flare is in the chat. Nice. So cool. So then copy the link to any uploaded file. So basically here we can copy the link of the uploaded file and share it with people. Does that mean that we probably want it to be always public? Or should the file always be private? Should we kind of like set up a password for the files? Let's say, for example, whenever you want to have a file to share with someone, you can put a password to it and you can share it for just one person, right? That would be a cool idea, actually. Front-end, Next.js, app router, or React with a customs. I would go Next.js this time, right? Definitely not public. Definitely. All right. Better auth, simple and bun native, clerk next. Okay, I will do better auth because I'm used to it right now. File saved to local disk on the same VM the app runs on. DigitalOcean, Droplet, or whatever. External storage like AWS, S3, Supabase, Firebase. That's cool. Backend though now. Wait a second. storage files saved to local disk. Why we don't do S3 in this case, right? For the sake of simplicity, stick to the feature set as defined, and then once it's completed you can expand it more features like protected files with passwords. Yeah, I agree with you. I just gave an idea, man. You see how the flares actually took the TikTok viewership to 78 and now 80? That's like a good thing. Like, yeah, so we're discussing basically to all the people who are new here. Yeah, we are looking at the requirements, and we are going actually to use these requirements to build the application from zero, basically. Yeah, and I've never used AWS, yes, but I want to learn it, man. Maybe with your help or with the people that are in the chat, we can do okay, or we can stick to something else. So basically we can do Supabase. Supabase actually have AWS under the hood, right? So, but it's actually not free in this case, right? If you actually link Supabase, I think Supabase have this feature to be able to give you an S3 bucket. But yeah, whatever, man. Like, we can continue. AWS, at least S3 isn't that hard to get or grasp of. Yeah, Oscar tried to convince him. Yeah, Supabase has file storage now. Yeah, it has file storage, and also it has like a tick that you tick and it will become S3. So Andrew said generate a pre-signed URL in the S3. What is a pre-signed URL? I don't know what is that. All right, so tech decision justification. Fill this out to explain why you're picking the tools in your stack. So front-end choice, why are you choosing Next.js or React Server over the other framework? Interesting, actually. This is something that we can now like publicly speak about. I think Next.js, I'm choosing it because I'm not going to actually write Express servers on the outside. I know that integrates like a backend into it, and I feel like that's a good idea to just start from there, so I don't have to separate a lot of things. And also I have only one application to upload at the end, and it's not multiple, like, and then I don't know, should this URL work with this URL, so this and that and all of that hustle, you know. So pre-signed URL is an URL to an object in the S3. It can be configured to expire after a certain time frame. Ah, okay. Interesting. Is an access to URL to S3 object with a temporary access. Yeah. Yeah, if you know AIM role permission, CloudFront distribution, domain routing, and general AWS conventions. Yeah, I know that conventions and stuff like that are a big thing about AWS, but you know what? I will actually go and set this year also to get my AWS associate degree or certificate. So I can push for this. Maybe when I get that associate certificate or something, I can actually start building with AWS. Why not? Right? Pre-signed URL is just, yeah, that's I read. Your advice for multi-tenancy app is Supabase the only really scalable option. Multi-tenancy. Honestly, here the chat might reply to you because I didn't understand your questions. But I think Supabase has, yeah, a lot of scalability options that you can go for in any way, actually. Even like databases, I saw a lot of things in Supabase that I liked a lot. So no wonder that Supabase actually provides a lot of things. Oh, not possible. You need to build a lot with AWS to be able to pass those certs. I don't think so. Isn't associate like the easiest cert of them all? Like you need to learn what is AWS and actually learn certain aspects about it and use certain like small things with it. Like I know that like you need to learn about Lambda, what it's used and stuff like that, some initiation functions, some stuff that you use with AWS, what is an S3 bucket, what is EC2, and this all of stuff, and then you move to build like simple applications, and then the associate degree will be actually in your pocket. I mean, yeah, and yeah, you still have to learn a lot, and there is like more to it when it comes to Udemy. There is Udemy courses that tells you if you take this course literally 30 hours or something, then you will end up having your AWS certificate for associate at least. Does that work? Does that actually be also the case? Maybe I start from Udemy at that point, right? What is a multi-tenancy app? Let me actually search about that later on. But thanks for opening this topic. I'll check it. Right. What is Pocket Base IO? I will click it now and go back. So open source backend. What? In one file? This is this is kind of crazy. What's the answer? All right. Question: a startup is building a web application that stores images uploaded by users. The team wants a cost-effective, scalable solutions with minimal operational overhead to store and serve things image globally. Which AWS service should they use? Amazon EC2 with attached EBC volumes, Amazon RDS with images blob storage, Amazon S3 with CloudFront, Amazon EFS with auto scaling. So a startup is building a web application that stores images uploaded by users. The team wants a cost-effective, scalable solution with minimal operations overhead to store and serve these images globally. So they want to store them and serve them. I would say, where is the CDN part? I would say Amazon S3 with CloudFront, because you guys said CDN part, right? No, I didn't read anything actually. Believe me, I didn't read anything from chat. I saw Oscar right now, just now saying C, but I just said Amazon S3 with CloudFront. Why? Because I know EC2 is like deployment related, I think. EBS, I never heard of it. I thought about RDS with blob storage, but RDS is probably taken away the S3. So I said S3 with CloudFront, right? I'm a natural. I'm on AWS. Now I will try to be like that guy. No, man. I mean, if I see this, I will panic, man. Like, I need to prepare this kind of stuff, right? For sure, 100%. Okay, let's go back to here to actually answer more questions. Can't store images in RDS? Okay, I didn't know that, right? All right, cool. So let me see the chat on TikTok actually. Your advice for multi-tenancy, people are still actually multi-tenant is a single application, multiple clients. Oh, well, since I'm full stack and I'm somehow into some space competence dev, I don't know where to start. Robin said that he's a full stack. Can I somehow get into some space company? What do you mean by that? Just finding Supabase also difficult. Okay, I never used Supabase auth. Actually, I used Supabase S3 once, like, but they configure everything for you and they give you like a link to just literally API like connect to it, and that's it. By the way, Pro Evils, we have 100 people watching on TikTok. That's why I'm actually focusing with them, so I give them some attention. And 100 is too good. Come on, guys, like more, share more, let people know about us. And also let me see how many followers you have now, because if we have 100 people watching, means that we already did 200. Yeah, I will actually do that 100%. Like, I will do, what the hell is happening here? Like, my phone just get closed. I will put like a Twitch handle on my TikTok. Yeah, 100%. So people who are on TikTok right now seeing my screen, we are also on Twitch. Here you go. This is my Twitch. And you can go to my link tree in my profile, or I will actually share with you my Twitch. It's just the same, it's the same stack. And you can go there and follow me as well. And thanks a lot. All right. Auth solution, why better auth, clerk, etc. What makes it the best fit? I think better auth because it prepares for you the routes, and also you're still writing some code for it. I think clerk is just a provider and it's easier, but I would like also to touch some code and do some stuff, right? So it kind of like, I want to do this better auth thingy because I also get, if I get used to it, then I will grasp it more, right? Andrew said not better auth is auth, but in case of this, What do you want us to use? I want to hear the chat actually suggesting what to use, because in this case I can actually say, hey, I think you have a better opinion, and why not to follow you. But why you're saying that bad reviews on Better Auth? People are saying that Better Auth actually is having bad reviews. What are these bad reviews about, and maybe what should we use? What is the best? Okay, let me ask Google. What is the best auth package for my Next.js application? Actually, they will generate with AI, so I trust it. I don't know. They said that Next.js stands out. Interesting. Serverless compatibility, and then they said Clerk and Auth0 are the best. I think I also, ProEvil said that Supabase never enjoyed it. I never enjoyed Auth0 actually. I didn't like it. I liked Keycloak more than Auth0, for example, because Keycloak, to destructure like variables from it, like the current user information, all of that is actually easier than Auth0. Auth0 is literally a mess for me. Maybe it got better because I used it like 3 years ago or something. But I would like now to know from you, because you guys are saying this. Yeah. Okay. I'm reading your chat, but Ross is now backed by YC. What is YC though? If you want to do this project and focus on the front-end part, use something like Pocket Base. Honestly, if I can actually rewrite some all services stuff or storage stuff, then I will focus actually on the backend more. But on the front end, I think it's gonna be UI based, and I think that I can manage there. I will be fine. I'd code my own auth using GWT. Also for security, I would use Bearer, Helmet, API, Rate Limiter course. All right, what is Helmet though? An API Rate Limiter. Hey, not found in the chat. Oh, look at you. Aren't you sometimes on Twitch? I don't get it. Once on TikTok, once on Twitch. Or is it not you? Because we have once not found on Twitch as well. All right, so YC is a Y Combinator. Okay. Better Auth is great due to how powerful its plugins are. Also, their head developer has a Discord and you can just DM them and they fix it. Well, that can be true as a good thing to have, but couldn't be like that's the only thing that you like Better Auth for, right? You said powerful plugins. Can you tell me what is it for? Rate limiting out of scope for this project for now. Okay. But yeah, if you use Better Auth, it's gonna be Better Auth, and Better Auth actually prepares everything for you. Cool. Good. So you see how much the Flare did for us. That's nice. All right, guys, if we reach 150 viewers, that will be epic, because that will put us on another milestone. And if you comment, share, that would be amazing. Okay, storage. What's your reasoning for choosing local server storage? So these questions are also for you guys, for the TikTok people, please answer these and let me know why, because honestly I learned from that as well, right? So what's your reasoning for choosing local server storage? Example, disk on a VM, or an external storage provider like S3, Supabase. Consider trade-offs like speed, complexity, scalability, and cost. So for me, I would consider cost will be the first one. I don't want to spend anything, honestly, building an application. I am that cheap. So also, if there is something that is scalable and we pay a few bucks for, like we said, S3 or whatever, but now it's out of the context, then I would consider it, right? But I have no idea how Supabase actually file storage works, so I need to check it. Therefore, I will go with a disk on a VM, to store everything in an asset folder or something like that for now. And on this storage method, I honestly have an obscure way to do it, so I don't know. Honestly, my answer is I don't know. Here, I would rather you guys choose for me, right? This is gonna be me in the autumn minus the public attention. Man, don't worry too much, you will be fine. Helmet is a middleware package used to secure your app by setting various HTTP headers. That's a good idea. I actually didn't know that it exists. If you go with S3 approach, I can help you maybe set it up on a call and work through it. I mean, I would like to go with the S3 approach. I would like 100%. But you just made me feel like it's like going after, I don't know, like Kratos or whoever with a bat. Like it's like felt like it's a huge thing, right? Yeah, Oscar, if you have, okay, we can jump into a call and we can do it. Yeah, yes, on my own. That's what you said. Yeah, correct. Pro Evil's making it sound more difficult than it actually is. I think Pro Evil's know my level. He was here for like too long. He saw me doing GWT tokens from scratch. He saw me doing some stupid stuff on this stream. So he knows that I probably know nothing about the backend, and I'm trying to learn literally nowadays. So I get his point, right? Yeah, I think, Oscar, you take for granted the contextual information you already have with experience in AWS. I mean, Oscar is a backend developer. He surely 100% have some certificates about AWS probably. Isn't S3 fast and its own AWS edge? Yeah, I mean, not found. We were talking about this on Twitch right now, and people are saying that it's hard for me to learn AWS, especially that I don't know nothing about it. And by the way, you came late. What we want to build is a lightweight file upload and share an app where logged in users can upload files and get simple shareable links. So we are now answering the questions about what to choose, why to choose this over this, and so on and so forth. We defined that we're gonna use Bun and we're gonna use Next.js. We defined also that we're gonna use, for example, Better Auth, maybe Clerk. We cannot define 100%, but we're going more with Better Auth. We said also that we're gonna use Next.js here instead of React Server, just because it's one application. So we are here in the question of storage, and people are actually having a debate. So yeah, you said here, nice. So for sure on the edge, you use AWS and you use API calls too. I have no idea what you're talking about, but overall, I will tend to maybe call one of my friends here on Twitch, or use some videos to learn about storage in AWS, and especially for something like this application, and then sit down for hours and hours and hours trying to debug and explain to my viewers also what I wrote, and also understand myself how things work, right? So yeah, Pro Evil said he is also primarily a front-end dev. He has nearly zero full-stack experience in terms of infrastructure like this. True. You know what is funny about me? I will tell you actually something super funny. When you ask me, what do you want to be in 5 years? I will tell you I want to be an architect, like a software architect. But my knowledge in backend is literally, where is my camera? Zero. Like my face is there. Yeah, zero. And that's funny because I want to learn, and one of the things that I want to learn with is you, like the people who are here on the chat. And honestly, it's not the fact that, okay, it's when I started this live stream, I knew less. Like, that's the fact. It's like I really knew less, and now I know a bit, like, and it's going, right? So I like this. Everybody, like, you are talking in in literally like hieroglyphs, or how do you say that? Like in Chinese for me, or Mandarin. Like if someone is talking about cache here, and some guy is talking about S3 topics and all of that. Yeah. Let's use Excalibur and do some architecture. We can do that. Yeah. Why not? But I honestly don't know even how to start doing that, right? So Andrew, maybe we can architect this out, but honestly, you will see me doing stupid stuff. So we can do it. Like, I mean, let me just do it like this. For me, this is my application, the other one. I should stop it for a second. Let me just go to Excalibur. Where is it? Actually, where is my here you go. All right, so what should we start with, right? It's actually the wrong way around, I think, to start with Excalibur, but Pro Evils, Andrew, or whoever is in chat, what should we start with? It will be a very good idea if we just do this stream right now and architect the whole thing. But like, this is why we're building stuff on stream, right? To learn new things and try unfamiliar stuff. Yeah, thanks, man. So the UI application, I can... Okay, then we are sketching, right? I can sketch out that. So the UI, I said I will have a simple UI. I can use Next.js, right? And let me put everything front end on the right side of the screen, right? We said that we will feed this with better auth, right? Better auth. We will feed this, what else on the front end? Like Tailwind or wherever, Tailwind CSS maybe I don't know. We will feed this like, I don't know, what else can we do, right? Let's learn how GWT token works, refresh token, success token. Oscar, we did that actually, right? Yeah, for sure. I mean, Next.js is front end, but we are talking just, yeah, okay. Let me just do it here so it becomes more, so let me put Next.js in here. So we know that it's actually expressed in the backend, right? Yeah, so the thing is here that I know that we're doing Express. Also, we talked about, let me get this to be the last, to be the last tab, and I will close some tabs here because honestly I have a million tab open. Actually, I think I just exited one of the tabs that contains the basic stuff about this project, but I have it on the chat. 1 second. Chat. I will go back now to open the ChatGPT link that we have for the canvas. So this is the report that we have, and we're talking about front end, which is that Next.js has its own app router. We will use ChatCN, why not? But is there actually anything better than ChatCN to use here? Like something simple, something really nice? The queries of an app router. Oh, the app router and the front end, like the app router, the app folder router part. I know that that's crazy thing, but it's actually, isn't it actually was like a page based and then became app router for Next.js? I'm not sure, but that's what I remember. So app router, I know some stuff about it. Yeah. Yeah, but not in the same place, right? You have an API folder for that, right? Yeah. ChatCN is the simplest. Then if it's the simplest, then I will be able to add it here actually, right? But what? ChatCN is simplest, but they don't have a lot of UI. A more traditional UI library, I recommend Daisy UI or Mentine. You know what? I will go with ChatCN UI just because people are going with that most of the time, right? You know, Pro Evil, there some guy Andrew in the chat on TikTok, he said UI app, Cloud Front, API gateway, Lambda / EC2, then S3. That's it. Everything easy to do. Go for it. Just one box. As if I know all of these. I know Lambda just because I heard of Lambda, and I know EC2. That's it. Just because I hear EC2. But here nobody actually. Okay, better auth also on the backend, or should we do our GWT stuff? You know what? I will go with better auth because honestly I don't want to spend that much time doing authorization stuff in the backend again and again and again. We did this for the white noise app and it was really too much. No. Yeah, I know, just app router, which was given routes access to users. Yeah, route access, and then also it's that each folder will be its route by default, I think. Yeah. Backend is where all the fun stuff is. Yeah, I agree. What he said is basically you make the front end and use AWS for everything. Yeah, that's what I think he said. Actually, you know what? I will work my ass off this weekend to show TikTok messages also on Twitch, so I have an overlay for it. Mern? Yeah, we're gonna use Nern, the Next.js kind of thing. Yeah, he said exactly. Okay, cool. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, so let's go back to here to see maybe if we missed something. So backend, which said bun with Elijah, preferred faster and simple than Node Express. What do you mean Elijah? Elijah is like an Express alternative, right? Express alternative, maybe. Elijah can refer to a different thing, specialize in high-end audio equipment, genus. Oh, wait a second, Elijah. Yes. Ergonomic framework for humans. Like what the hell? End-to-end type safety like gRPC. Elijah provides type safety from the backend to the front end without code generation. I never heard of this. Let me read. So Oscar said, I think you'd go bankrupt after one file that way. I thought you were about to say you'll work your ass off and do it all in WS. No. I think I will make a for loop that does upload one file multiple million times, and then they will come to me, like revoke my residency in Germany and announce me bankrupt and return me back to Tunisia. Yeah. So Bun, Elijah is optimized for Bun, which is JavaScript runtime that aims to be drop-in replacement for Node.js. Wow. Yeah, like, hello, this will be your 2,000,000 something, thank you. Yeah, and then go home. You know, if you bankrupt yourself, you don't pay nothing, you just go back. Some guy said, du bist Deutsche, perfect. No, I'm not Deutsche, man, I am Arabic. Arab. But I live here, I live in Germany. Yeah. Refresh, you did something here? Okay. Goal, core, tech. Are you updating anything? Decision. Adding a hosting section. I didn't see it actually. Oh yeah, it's new, right? Okay. Are we using solid approach? Man, I think Next.js is actually very good structured for the solid approach. I think you will be doing that by default even before even we understand that we're doing it. Yeah. All right, Bronson, I actually don't speak German that much, so I understood 50% of what you wrote. Right. All right, so where will you host the app? Consider self-hosted on a VM. I will buy a small VM. Okay, I have a VM, but I think if I can host 2 apps in it, I will be happy. If my VM can do that. If I cannot host 2 apps in it, I will buy another DigitalOcean one, maybe. Because I heard that DigitalOcean is really good. Or maybe I will buy one in Germany that is very powerful, so I can still host like stuff in it, like multiple apps. Versal for simplicity. Yeah, Versal can be good. Actually, we can do platform as a service plus Versal. Yeah. Whether the idea to use X comes from you or the chat. I don't get the point here. No, actually I'm coming from, like, my idea is exactly what I think I use, because I'm reading, I didn't actually read this. Oh, the idea here is to fully understand why we're picking one over the other. That's the most important part. If I, for example, say that I'm picking a VM just because I actually used, for example, with you that Qualify, I liked it. So I think that Qualify could be cool to actually host multiple apps on my VM. So I end up spending less money than going for Versal or whatever. If Versal actually has some options that are really good, then I would drop that qualify and that VM approach, maybe close my VM, fuck it, and then I would go to like this Versal service that provides self-hosting for me, right? I honestly like Qualify. I really liked it a lot also. And the downside for Qualify, I don't know how to set up an HTTPS request on it. I knew how to do it on a NGINX, like with certbots and stuff. Versal provides that by default. You just give them like your domain or something like that. So it's kind of harder, right? That's for me like the downside. It's hard. Hard or not hard, I don't know, right? Okay, then if it handles SSL for me, then not hard. All right, what else can be hard on Qualify? I honestly didn't explore Qualify that much. And I like Qualify more because also it has this possibility for you to, whenever you push something, it just goes very well with everything. And Robin said that you can try Tanzu from VMware. DigitalOcean hosting is fine. Yeah, DigitalOcean also is a good idea. Or bare metal serverless? No, I won't go for bare metal. Yeah. If you don't know all the answers, that's okay. We're going to find out by doing it, right? For sure. Containers, I will create a Docker-based container for this, even though to run it just locally and for the people actually to be able to do it, but I won't use it for deployment. If I'm using Qualify, I know that I can use it for deployment. That's also something to learn, but my goal is to understand a little bit about Docker while I'm doing this application. So this is one of my goals, literally, like I want to do it, right? But does it need to actually be in Qualify and stuff like that? Okay, so if Next.js I have to use Docker for Qualify, then it will become really automatic then. Okay, cool. Then we say it like this. We have a VM that has Qualify. We Dockerize the application and we platform it there, like host it there. Okay, cool. The only thing that I need here to question myself is if my VM can handle multiple applications, because we have AI Oracle that I want to host as well, right? So now we have AI Oracle. We have also like this profile small application that we're gonna, not small though, that we're gonna build, and I want this also to be into that same VM if possible. I will share with you my VM. I think I can even open it right now. I mean, I can open the HP panel for this so I can show you kind of like how things are here. I think I have like I don't know how much RAM I have or something like that. I forgot about that one. This is one manage. Close. So this one ends up in December, I think. Oh, not this one, sorry. I know that I'm sharing like whatever, but this is the one that I have. I want to manage. Oh, actually, now I see that it has disk space 100 gigs, memory 8 gigs, cores 2, and it has the key VM2 current plan from Hostinger. So if we search this, Hostinger VPS hosting, this is the one that I think KVM2, this one. So 2 CPU kernel, 8 gigs of RAM, 100 NVMe speed, and 8 terabytes of bandwidth basically. Oh, let me change it to English somewhere. But you get the point, right? So that's what I have. It's like actually very easy to read. It's not that hard. Yeah. Here you go. Actually can't translate it somewhere. I cannot. Whatever. So this is what I have. I've been loyal to Hetzner all my life. Or your dev life. Man, if you are happy with something, never change it. Oh, you're doing the same, but the what are you doing? No, not found. Let me read. Smart to use Drugger this way to start. Yeah, like you can do the Let's Encrypt cert, which is valid for 2 months, and then you can have it auto renew script. This is where it becomes expensive. I'm doing the same, but the company might pay for it. Dockerize the app, surely. No way. You own Hostinger. Shame they don't have a good US presence. I used them recently. I liked it. Okay, Hetzner or Hostinger. Nobody actually answered me if this is good or not. Actually, they are in the US. They have like the US presence, I think, for hosting. They are mainly EU. Okay. Should be fine. All right. Should be fine. All right. Let's go back. So now requirements. Only logged in users can upload. All public file links should be secure. Signed URLs. What does signed URLs means? Remind me of that. Temporary URLs or basically secure URLs. Max file size 50 megabytes or adjustable. All right, adjustable if they pay, basically, for sure. I'm thinking about payments and premiums and stuff before I even start this application. Cool. You own Hostinger? No, man, I don't. I have a VM and Hostinger. I don't own the application. All right, stretch goals. Oh, HTTP or secure is basically HTTP. Okay. All public links should be secure. Okay. Yes. Okay, got it. But also all files should be secured, right? Expiry date on shared links, that 100%. File type filtering, file preview, image or text, delete all files. That's understandable. Maybe any of the chat who thinks this is kind of very stretched or very much, I want to see your idea as well. Yeah, people in the chat saying in the US it's Certbot that uses that with NGINX. That's correct. But I like the way that they made their web and the way how it works, Robin said. Okay. Filter and delete, etc. would be basic in the code anyway. Yes. Yeah, it is. I just file preview here would be also nice to help to work with. So the UI part, it's gonna be really fun. Like we are gonna filter, like use like some UI filtering options. That would be cool also for me to explore. So notes for streamer, keeps the project scoped and functional, don't overbuild, focus on user flow, login, upload, share. Aim for clean layout, responsive design, and work on files uploads. S3 access can be tested using pre-signed post URLs or SDKs. All right. I have a question now for the chat. I have a question that I want to just see yes or no, okay? What the fuck is it? All right, let me see the TikTok, what they say. All right, Oscar said yes. We have first yes. Andrew first yes. Robin third yes. Not found said nothing. All right. So we have 4. Who else will say yes to confirm? I think 5 will be fine here. And someone said hell yes. Okay, good. So S3. Where to start? That will be a really big topic now. AWS. S3 for an upload app with this. I'm gonna just look at the code for like some guy who asked some question. Creating and using AWS buckets. Upload them photos to image. This is gonna be something that we probably want to see, right? If you pick Next.js, I recommend watching a tutorial on it before doing this project. Okay. Do you have any tutorial kinda for it? Prerequisite tasks. This browser script uses SDK for JavaScript to interact with Amazon AWS S3. Use the following methods: store Amazon S3 client class to enable the photo album application. So in order for you actually to use something, you need to enable certain stuff for it. So basically here, for example, in this simple HTML project that is browser script, then Amazon SDK, and then the simple storage from S3, you need to enable list object, head object, put object, upload, delete. So the CRUD functionalities for all the S3 possibilities, I think. Just to upload a photo. And then what is this called? Let me just not read and ask you the chat. you go to the IAM console. Is this called the IAM console or something else? AM console, or is that LAM console? Is that an L? Or look on Discord. Okay, I'll check Discord for a second. Yeah, while the chat tell me what is that. IAM policy. That's a policy. Okay. All right. Is anybody on the chat actually mentioned something on Discord? Oh yeah, Oscar, you sent me something. So this is JavaScript snippet for this. Okay. So how can I share this? I think I can even open it in Excalibur, right? Here he shared with us this snippet. Sorry, it looks it looks now all red. Let me make it white. Oops, I cannot. I can make this white, right? Yeah. And then take it up. Oops. And then zoom in. And then maybe change the text to normal, right? Yeah. Maybe change it to code. This is more code, but the normal looks better, right? Okay. This is a good start. All right, I will definitely look at this video later on. So do you want to watch this video together, guys? If you want to watch it, I will be able to watch it now if you want. But before that, I want to just you know, go step by step, because Oscar also shared this snippet before. And then I will read the comments. It's at params directory to store the file in. Okay, let me actually go like this. No, like this. Yeah. So public strings upload file, string directory, and multi-part file. So this is basically saying, hey, this is the file list type or whatever, and this is the string for the directory where you actually need to upload it. The string, okay, this is a class, right? Yeah, makes sense. And then the string original file name, file.get original file name, string extension, get file extension, string key directory plus UID random plus extension. So this is just for the name where you to store it. You're gonna name it this string probably of the key, or okay. Nevertheless, but what is these functions like file get, some get file extension? Is this actually something that you can use by default or not? Okay, so map string metadata equal new hash map. So this is the map where he will put the key of the object, which is the file name, I think, and then he put that object. 1 second. He put content type, and then content type of the file, the length of the file, which is the size of it, and then uploadings happen here. But before that, there is this object request equal put object request dot builder. I don't know. So he built some request to prepare for the upload, where he mentions the bucket name, the key of the file, and the okay. So here he preparing the request as if he's holding the headers into one request, right? Yeah, the object reference kind of cool, man. And then this is the long one here, is where you actually push that object into, put that request into the upload S3 client file, S3 client instance or service or function or whatever. No, this is S3 client.put object. So this is the function that loads your request and the request body, and then gets the file specifications that you put on top. And here comes the magic that I don't understand. And then you catch whatever. So this is probably something related to AWS. Yeah, that's Java, not JS, but you get the basic idea of how inserting into S3 works. Put object request comes from S3 SDK. Okay, yeah. I got it from seeing this string on here actually. Yeah. Okay, so now we go to the video. Do you want to guys watch the video with me? Do you want to watch it now? All right, before we watch the video, if you want, here our friend shared bun saying S3 object storage. Production servers often read, upload, and write files to S3 compatible object storage instead of the local file system. Historically, that means local file system APIs you use in development can't be used in production. When you use bun, things are different. So if you use something for development, it runs for production, but I didn't understand what is it, the file system part here. The local production servers often read, upload, and write files to S3 compatible object storage services instead of the local file system. Ah, okay. So I got it. So instead of the local file system to upload the files, you can, you know that on production you need S3 compatible objects, but here you can do both at the same time. And what is happening here? Downloading, and then this. I don't get it. Let me read what he wrote. Damn, it's compatible with R2, DO, Backblaze, and more. That's really okay. Bun has S3 SDK built in natively, which is nice. So this is the S3 SDK from Bun that helps you probably write to this. Yeah, nice. AWS3, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean. So it has to everything actually. Bucket, new S3 client, Bucket. Wow. What a mess. Do you know how many on TikTok we are right now? Let me check for you guys. I have an ad now as big as my face. We are still 16.4k, which is also nice. We didn't jump that much, but we have really good views on the latest videos, and also we have good messages from you guys. So we obtained some flares, and also we have a lot of new followers, which is awesome. Cool. Let's watch the video. Who else want to watch the video? I just took my mouse out so I can just make it Bluetooth right now, and I couldn't find my Bluetooth adapter. Here you go. It's like this, and then you go. It's the G Pro, like from Logitech. Nice. Yeah, that's totally powerful. That's totally powerful, and I agree with you guys. I think of the storage folder for now. Yes, but don't confuse him. Lol, he won't get it. Think of bucket like a table. I'm explaining properly. Okay, let me read what you said. Proevil shared another ChatGPT one here. This is the code, the exact code, but for GS, I think, right? So create a clean example of uploading a single file in S3 using TypeScript. So this is the code. AWS client S3 read file sync makes sense. Yeah. This is what I also thought about, like file system part, and then I prepare the file with the file path, and then I throw it somewhere. But I didn't know. Yeah, here you go. The send command here. Maybe that's what I use. And then I just pass the response, and then I do the put object command, which probably is definition of the bucket, the key, the body, and stuff. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't seem complicated for me, honestly, right? But overall, I will learn this. Think of S3 as your database, not found said. I would recommend installing it first as and authenticating with your account. Which one is that? AWS SDK. Are you using all my posh on Windows? I'm doing all my posh on Windows, yeah, and I'm doing it also on WSL. Yeah, that's a good question. All right, so let me read. Think about bucket like a table, and there is this example that's you shared, and then think about it as a storage folder for now. Okay. Okay, guys, you're mocking me, I think. Yeah, no, you don't know how smart I am. You will see. You'll see how I grasp this. Nah, you're good, bro. Think of S3 like a file system, basically, because S3 isn't a real system of files and folders like traditional file system. It just looks like one. You have a drive. Your drive has multiple folders and can store images, text, videos, etc. It works much different under the hood, but that's what it looks like. That part is easy. It's in AWS UI of creating the bucket, setting up the appropriate secure features, creating IAM users, creating the appropriate policies, setting up cores for the bucket. Yeah, that part is easy. It's in AWS. I don't UI. I don't know that. Okay, you mean the UI in general? I thought that it's like a name for something. Create in the bucket, setting up the appropriate security feature for sure. That will be a mess. Create an IAM users. I don't know what is that. That's the policy, right? Maybe. Creating the appropriate policies. Okay, now we're talking policies again. Setting up course for the bucket. Okay. Setting up the cloud for, then setting up the cloud front for CDN, AWS UI, yeah. Then there's the cloud front setup for ensuring you don't set the perms on the bucket, but only by cloud front itself. If you go with the CDN route, project doesn't require it. I mean, we will do anything extra later on, honestly, yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot, honestly. Let's go watch this video if you want. Everybody wants to watch this before we go, because I will watch this honestly and then dip, because it's late. It's late for me, honestly. But yeah, everybody ready to watch this? This is the Next.js app router, routing, data fetching, and caching. Basically, we are talking about Next.js and not S3 here. So think of S3 as your database. Yeah, okay. Everybody's saying too many different things, but still provides a good intro. Okay, let's go. I will mute myself when I watch something. I will stop whenever I will talk. Okay, let's go.
Be an overview of some of the new concepts and foundations in the Next.js app router, as it's now almost towards full stability. Let's take a look. Okay, let's start with routing, and I'll introduce our first convention, which are layouts. So one of the great new features of the Next.js app router is built-in support for improved ergonomics around layouts, as well as supporting nested layouts. So in the app folder or app directory here, we have a new file, layout.tsx, because I'm using TypeScript, and this defines the root layout for my application. So as you'll see, it exports a default function, the root layout, which takes in some children. It renders those children in an HTML tag, and this is what we're going to initially see when we visit our application at localhost 3000. So let's go to localhost 3000.
Rival said, can we make the browser the main window instead of NeoVim? That's a problem, I think. Let me see what I can do about that on Twitch. For now, honestly, I think I don't have the possibility to do that. It's just that, how can I do it? Do I have like another scene? No, I will prepare a scene for that, no problems. And then yeah, on TikTok and on Twitch, it's two different things. On TikTok, it can be yeah, no problem. Let's continue.
Our application loads and we see hello world. Now, inside of this layout, you'll notice that I haven't defined the text hello world anywhere. Now, the foundation of the Next.js app router is composing different React components, and this is how layouts work at their core. So this component is actually composing a page, which is another convention we can introduce. So if we look at the page file, denoted by a special page.tsx file name, we see that there's a default exported React component that returns some JSX, in this case, an H1 saying hello world. Now, this is what we're actually seeing over here on the browser that is making this an addressable piece of UI. So if I open up our dev tools and I actually inspect the output here, we see the HTML tag, the body tag, and then the H1 from our page. So the layout and the page were composed together. By default, all pages and layouts inside of the app router are React server components by default. Now, this is a new way of programming with React. By default, this means that your code only runs on the server. So for every new additional component you add in your application, it's not sending any additional JavaScript to the client side. It's securely running only on the server. Then, when you want to introduce more code on the client side, you'll have client components for interactivity. But first, let's finish off talking about routing. So we have our index route here defined by this page in the app directory. But if we want to create a new route, we have to create a new page file. So what I'll do is I'll make a new folder and we'll call this about. And then inside of that folder, I can define a new file, page.tsx. And then we can just put in a default exported React component here that returns some H1 that says hello about. So if we go back to our browser and navigate to /about, we see that we have our new text displayed in the browser. So the file system based router that you love of Next.js still remains and is improved and enhanced with the app directory. Just like the Pages router, this supports more than just static routes. We can also have dynamic route segments. So for example, if I go to our app directory, I make a new folder. Let's just call this blog. And then inside of the blog folder, I make another new folder. We'll say ID, and we'll use these brackets here, these square brackets, to denote that this is a dynamic route segment. And then inside of that folder, we'll define a new page. So just to recap here, the page is what marks the UI as an addressable route that you can navigate to inside of your browser. So let's say that we have another React component in here. We'll just call this blog. And if I go back to my browser and I go to /blog/123, we're going to see this new page rendered. Now, of course, most of the time you also want to read that dynamic route segment, and you can do that very easily by accessing the params key inside of the props of your component. So in this instance, I've destructured that object, I've pulled out the params key, and then I can use params.id inside of my JSX to render out the ID of this route segment. So if I change this to 345, for example, we're able to see that new value in the browser. As a quick note, you can also access the URL search params as well inside of the props for pages. Now that you have your routes defined, you might want to also navigate between them, and you can use the built-in Next.js link component that you know and love from the pages directory. So I've went back to our index route. I've updated the default exported component here to render out a link component, which just renders an A tag under the hood, and that's going to navigate to the /about route. So if I click on this link, you see that we very quickly transition between our pages using the link component. This also supports routes with dynamic route segments as well too, like blog/123, for example. Okay, so you have.
Honestly, this is really cool, especially that the ID part and the param part. They are interconnected. So basically, if you wanted to get the ID, dynamic ID of the page of the whatever you have in your address bar over there as an ID, you just use that param as a child, as a prop in that component, and it will work. And as Oscar as well said, you essentially use client on top of the component if you want it to run on the client like a normal React. And now why I stopped, because he will start using the data fetching part, which is another topic. So this is Next.js completely. Like, yeah, it's a really good, yeah.
Have your routes. Now let's talk about data fetching. So we want to get some dynamic data inside of our component and display it on the screen. In the pages directory, there were Next.js specific APIs like get static props and get server-side props that enabled you to do this. But in the Next.js app router, we've taken the opportunity to drastically simplify how data fetching works by building on the latest React innovations. So to do that, let's take a look at how we can fetch some data inside of our index route. We'll start by marking our component as an asynchronous component. Remember, these are React server components, so they securely run on the server by default. Now our component is able to support awaiting some promise inside of the body here. So let's say I wanted to do const response equals await. In this instance, I'm getting a suggestion to fetch information back about the Next.js repository. Then once we have that response, we can get the JSON from it. And then inside of the JSX, we could actually consume that data. In this instance, I will just update this instead of JSON. We'll call this data. And I'm not exactly sure what it's going to give me, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, so there's an ID here. If I wanted to, I could click into this and see the format we're working with. ID, name, full name, all these different things. Let's make this a little bit smoother by using TypeScript. So I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to define a type. And let's call this a repository. And it has an ID. It looks like it has a name. It has a full name. All this looks good. Inside of the app router, it's a lot more simple to get great support for TypeScript out of the box. So for example, I make a fetch to get some data. I get that data back. And now I want to mark this data as a type of repository. Now, when I'm rendering out that code inside of my JSX, if I hit data dot, I can see all the different options that I have. And if for some reason I had the wrong type here, my editor would give me that helpful feedback. So let me change the full name and I'll go back here and I see Vercel/Next.js. Now, since this is just a promise, you can structure this however you want. This code could come from an external NPM package. You could pull this out into some function here, get data, where this kind of functions like hoisting up your code similar to the patterns in get static props or get server side props. You could do that if you wanted. You can move this to a separate folder. The pattern that I like right now is just trying to put this inside my component until it feels a little bit more natural to break things out. Now, something that's really powerful with this pattern is that we can fetch data in more than just our pages. So previously in the pages directory, your data fetching could only happen inside of that pages directory itself.
Honestly, like, it's not for me that much of good news. I mean, not the good news. I mean, new news, like not something new, like wow, like I don't know this. It tend to be like my mind seeing that async await data type whatever is like literally what I would do if I thought about building my own framework. Kind of like think about it like that. And honestly, I remember everything now. If I just go and rewrite the whole application, like about what he did with the blog ID, I can rewrite everything. That's really cool. Now the caching part he will talk about, and he will said that it's totally different from what it is right now, so we can bear that in mind. Also, the impressive part is that the fetch is running on the server, which is epic. And also I heard a lot about the SEO part, the server engine optimization part of all of this. And yeah, it says that anything that is rendered on the server then is readable by Google. So Google now can know exactly what description, what type of content you have. So that's good. Instead of actually an ID of root that contains nothing, now you have at least something, right? Yeah, nice. That fetch could be a database call instead. Yeah, it can be Prisma, it can be whatever. Yeah, is there a single JavaScript framework that doesn't cause errors if you have the latest anything? I mean, yeah, for sure. If you have the latest anything, you'll always cause your error. Yeah, I updated to React 18.3, even though that it's like very old in the job, and still I get a lot of errors with MUI. I think MUI is shit. Whatever, let's continue.
Building on the foundations of server components in the Next.js app router, we can fetch data in any server component. So what I've done here is I've actually pulled out that data fetching code from our index page here, and I've instead put it into the root layout. So instead, inside of this root layout, I marked it as async. I moved this data fetching code here, and then I rendered out the full name inside of the body. Now, this means that this data is essentially up one layer in our tree and can be shared when I navigate to different routes. So if I go to /about, I see that I still have the full name of my repo that I've fetched dynamically, as well as having the composed content from the about route. Okay, so you might be wondering, this looks great. I can await some promise, but how do I use the other powerful features of Next.js, like support for static data, dynamic data, or data that gets revalidated? And what you're seeing here by default is that all of your data fetches are static. So for example, if we were to do a production build here and run this wherever we'd want to deploy our Next.js application, this data would actually be cached static for the entirety of our application. And it would also work if we wanted to eject out a static export of our application. Now, if you wanted to emulate the behavior of having some dynamic data on every request, we can also do that by extending the web fetch API. So let me pass some new parameters here. We're going to pass in cache, and we're going to say no store. Now, this no store option means that on every request, we want to bypass caching and we want to fetch new data. To better emulate this, I went ahead and changed out the API I was using to a remote API that just fetches back the current time. So I have the cache no store saying that I want to run this on every request. I changed the type, which returns back this date time, and then I'm consuming date time down here. And now you notice every time I refresh, I get that new value for the date time. Now, this also supports data that we want to revalidate, otherwise known as incremental static regeneration. So I replaced the cache argument here to our fetch API, and I instead used next. Now, next is going to be Next.js specific APIs that we want to include on top of fetch. And we have a key of revalidate that's defining a time of 5 seconds. So at most, we're going to see this value change every 5 seconds. So if I refresh over here, I see a new value come, and now I refresh, refresh, refresh. This is only going to change after 5 seconds has elapsed here, and it goes to that API and retrieves the new value. Now, this is where I'm going to blow your mind. Previously in the pages directory, your data fetching strategy, whether it was static, dynamic, or ISR, was the only strategy that you could pick for your entire route. Well, everything I've just shown here can actually be used together inside of the same route. So what I've done is I've actually combined the last two examples into our index route. I have this function getTime that returns a promise that returns our time object. I have another function called getRepo, which returns a promise that has our repository information. And then inside of our page, I'm using promise.all to fetch these in parallel. And then I render out the name of the repository as well as the date time. Now watch what happens in the browser when I refresh. I get a new time, and now I keep refreshing, and I'm getting the same static data, but then 5 seconds elapses, and I see the new time come in. So the top, this data fetch for the repository name remained static the entire time, and the data fetch below used ISR semantics. So you can combine all of these inside of routes for the most flexibility. This all builds on top of the powerful Next.js cache, which you can learn more about in our documentation. Okay, switching gears a little bit, let's talk about preparing your site for sharing on the web.
Actually, the last example, I didn't understand why it didn't change after 5 seconds still. It's caching by default, I understand that. So it means that he is actually passing a promise all function inside that layout, which means that whatever comes inside that, it needs to fetch everything from the get date and also the other one, which is the title. But somehow he said it will update in 5 seconds, but it didn't, so I was like confused. But overall I get it, like caching by default unless you go there and revalidate or ask for no cache or no store, he said. Nice. It could be anything. Now by default caching is turned off. In the video he explains the caching is turned on by default. This is good for lists from databases, could be a list of blog posts. Yeah, that's really cool. So you can revalidate every minute or something like that. Instead of query the database on every hit, you can use the cache data and you don't need to deploy to update it with new blog posts, since the get blog post validates. Yeah. Actually, we have Kavalis on TikTok saying, hey, how can I actually understand JavaScript and how can I learn? Actually, as I said, learn by building. What we are looking at right now is just Next.js, for example. We are trying to actually understand it, what it does, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that's it. I mean, start small and don't go berserk actually with learning something very heavy. Start with data structure and learn like how to make a calculator, something like small, and then move on from there. What code editor are you using? I'm using NeoVim with some dot files. You can find them, go to my profile, then GitHub, you will find my NeoVim setup. Yeah.
Web. Now in the pages directory, you could do this by using the next head API, which allowed you to update the content inside of your head element like meta tags or link tags. Well, inside of the app router, we've completely revamped this to have better built-in SEO support with a powerful new metadata API. Let's look at an example. So if you see here, we have this metadata object that has a title and a description. And then if we look at the output inside of our HTML here, we see that we have a title tag that says create next app. We have a meta description tag that shows what we've defined. So we've built this API that makes it really easy to define your metadata, and it maps to the corresponding meta or link tags for you, so you don't have to manually update the head element. This metadata object or API supports basically every single way that you want to define metadata in your application. On the right here, I have the docs pulled up. If you want to go give those a read, you can see all the different ways you can configure metadata in your application, all defined inside of the keys of that object. Now, sometimes you want your metadata to be based on dynamic data. Like in this example, we have a blog post at /123 for the route segment. The static metadata approach won't work here. So we also have an API called generate metadata that takes in the same params as the default exported page and allows you to return an object that uses that exact same metadata API. So for example, if I put the title to my blog post and I hit save, on the right you see that the browser updates and I see the new head of my blog post get populated with the title tag. Now, again, this uses the same data fetching primitives where you can call any promise, whether that's from your database, whether that's using the fetch API, and these are automatically deduplicated. To demonstrate this, I just went ahead and refactored the last example to make the route here /repo/name, where name is the dynamic route segment. And this function getRepo now is actually reused in both generate metadata as well as our asynchronous component here that's actually rendering out the name of the repo. So for example, if I was to change this from /repo/next.js to /repo/turborepo, we see that we get our new data. Now, while I could keep going and talk about some of the things of Next.js you already might know and love, like...
Cool, man. This is amazing. He might lost me a bit about the generate metadata and stuff like that, but I understood that it could be dynamic based on params. But I don't understand. You don't call anything, you just put it there on top of the page and it works. That one was like, wow, like that's cool. Like, okay, nice. I mean, I will keep this. I will save this one here into our next project. So our next project is gonna be for sure. Oh, I actually exited this one. Is gonna be definitely done in learning. So these are all the projects that I built while we are learning. So I'll make mkit tier. I will call it profile, right? Profile. I'll make it underscore just like that, and cd profile, and we will go there and create like I don't know, yeah, let's do mbib there, and go here, maybe create a new file here and this, and it's gonna be a readme file basically. Let's make it all uppercase, and then here I'll just paste that link and save just for now, and I'll go back to this later on and just actually create the Next.js repo, right? And that's it. It will be really nice to continue from here tomorrow. And yeah, could you make any videos about growth and how to use it in Python? Ob growth. I actually don't use Python a lot, but I will search that out. If I can help you, I'll let you know. Watch more Router videos before doing this project, please. Yeah, I will do that. And he shared here some YouTube videos as well about that. I will 100% watch them. Oh, Next.js 15 crash course. This is 5 months ago. Okay, let's save this as well. I think we can just go to the readme and save that, and also we will save whatever you shared with me about routing, and here you go. That's cool. Yeah, good. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for being awesome. Thanks for being the best. And honestly, today was not a very heavy like stream where we code, but we defined what we want to do in the next project, and I'm really ready for that. First time chatter we have in the chat. Sup brother, what are you going to learn? We are learning about Next.js, and we are going to build the next project with it. We finished today a project. It was really nice to work with AI SDKs and stuff like that. Thanks to everyone, and I'll add this one too. Okay, it's a 5 minutes just React server components versus SSR. I will add all of them for sure. Yeah, and basically go one by one and learn. What else? Okay, if I have time, I will watch that 5 hours for sure. I will watch that 5 hours video, maybe in not tomorrow, but tomorrow will gonna be like exploration, like kind of live stream as well. Yeah, so we're gonna do this. By the way, the application that we all built are on my GitHub, so you can go to GitHub here and see what we built. So white noise, we have also the application that we finished yesterday and today, which is the AI Oracle. We're going to host it also, but when we host the other one, we can go into this one and actually host it with it. So here you go, that's the link. Ozio Headset Dent, his name. That's a really nice name. All right, cool. Am I using WSL? Yes, I am. I am on Linux. Yeah. I'm on WSL. I'm using NeoVim, and We're gonna have so much fun. You can go back actually to the beginning of this stream. It's gonna be on my profile. You can rewatch it. And thanks for following. Also, thanks for being awesome, everyone. Tomorrow, 3 more hours every day until the end of the year. Let's do it. I'll rest probably on Friday. I'll take the family out or wherever, but we're gonna have fun. Thanks. See you tomorrow. And if you have any question, please let me know. And also you have my email and my link tree and everything available for you if you do bank socials. And please join also my Discord on TikTok. You have it also on there in the description. And yeah, that was awesome. The minimum views we had today on TikTok was 50 views, which is awesome. We gained around 200 followers. That was amazing. And we keep going. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night and see you soon. Good night. Thanks, Pro Evils. Thanks, Oscar. Thanks for being awesome and staying late. And yeah, it's nearly 4 a.m. here. So see you soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye, TikTok. There's a guy who came on the end of the stream and said, bro, I have a question. Please ask your question so we can go. Come on. Where is your question? Oh my gosh. Everybody's following right now. Thanks for the follows, guys. And also you can share the videos on my profile. And yeah, go there and you will find all the videos that I talked about. Today also we have another video that we will take to TikTok. So go there and find it. Cool. All right, I think that's it. I don't see the question. So yeah, hopefully all good. And see you tomorrow at the same time, guys. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Thanks. Good night, Pro Evils. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye, Oscar. Yeah, I'll try to start earlier, like 9